dirty dog.
Hello?
Hello, everyone.
What up, everybody? It's good to see ya. It's good to see you on this beautiful hump day. Happy hump day, everybody.
Hump day, yeah.
Let's get it. We are just in time before they start this madness meeting. It's good to see everyone. What up, Savage? What's up, everybody? What's up, Andrew? What is up, Blind Eye James? Drizzy, how are you? What's up, Brandon? Hi, BJ. Disclosure, how are you? Good morning. What's up, Katie? 2 days in a row, yeah. It was kind of nice to not have to do these every other day. But, they're back in session. Breaking news, another stabbing reported at Metro Station. Remember, though, when you see the guy this morning, Andrew Gravener, remember, he was the one that told you that it's just all lies, that there aren't really any stabbings or any kind of crime going on the transit systems. You just want to hire more cops. So there's that. You can tell them when you see them. Of course, Katie, it's just, sometimes it gets to be a bit much. You got 2 other jobs, not to mention this, and it's like you're pushing yourself to keep a schedule sometimes, and it's not the greatest. Yankees are up 4-0, huh? Did Jazz hit another home run? And selling all my Jazz cards, I'm telling you, I put them up 3 days ago, and I've already sold 20 in 3 days, maybe. All the good ones went first, day one. Day one, all the good ones. All the good ones. So, it is what it is. Shit, yeah. Oh, and look who's here. Hi, buddy. You done eating now? Fed him a little early, so I didn't have to leave and you guys in the middle of the show here. And he's cleaning his face. It means that he's dunked his face in his cat food, and it's bath time now. It's bath time for Bonzo over here. It seems to me that he's a happy cat. He's a happy cat now. There he is. He's a happy one. He's busy over there cleaning his face. Get a better shot of him here. Can't really get him a shot where he's at. He's busy. It's bath timing. Good morning, Tommy. Good morning to everybody else as well. Let me get a quick sip of my coffee here. About to get caffeinated up. We can get on our way. What's up, Terry? Good morning. Oh, and here we go. Perfect timing. Somebody's got the all-seeing eye in front, as you can see there. All right, let me turn the volume up. Hopefully the DEI sound guy is working better today. We already see he's up there in the corner. I can see him already. Too bad I can't hear anybody. There's another all-seeing eye.
Good morning, Angelinos, members of the public,
for all the
members of
Hamas
the council staff,
supporters. I wore their shirt for them.
This is your regular.
I know you're mourning your buddy.
Of the Los Angeles City Council.
Fuck around, you find out.
31st day of July, 2024. My name is Marquis Harris Dawson. I'm serving as the President Pro Tem of the Los Angeles City Council. Public comment will be taken both in person in the council chamber and via teleconference for today's meeting. Can we begin our proceedings by calling the roll?
Where is it?
Yes, Mr. President. Blumenfield, De Leon, Harris Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Krikorian, Lee, McOsker, Padilla, Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto Martinez, Yaroslavsky, 14 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
All right, first order of business.
Approval of the minutes of July 30th, 2024.
All right, Councilmember McOsker moves. Councilmember Park seconds. Next.
Combinatory resolutions for approval.
Councilmember Hutt moves.
I know they'd be angry because of yesterday.
Seconds.
For a memorial for their friend, I wore a shirt for him.
Mr. President, may I run through the agenda?
Yes.
Items 1 through 20 are items noticed for public hearing. For item 1, the tabulated value of the opposing ballots cast does not exceed the tabulated value
I almost
of
think
the
that when
supporting
the
ballots
mass
cast,
deportations
which are
start,
91%,
they should be the first to go.
91.176% in support.
They truly bring nothing.
8.824%.
At least some of the other people are working. They're
Thus,
doing
the
things
majority
for the
protest is
community
found not to exist, and the proposed
and for
establishment
themselves.
of the Greater Leimert Park Village Crenshaw Corridor Business Improvement
Leimert.
District may be authorized at this time. For items 2 through 19, the Los Angeles Department of Building and Safety recommends confirming the liens for items 3, 5 through 7, 9 through 12, and 16 through 19. The department also recommends to receive and file items 2, 4, 8, and 13 through 15, inasmuch as the liens have been paid. Items 21 through 24 are items for which public hearings have been held. Items 25 through 36 are items for which public hearings have not been held. Item 37 is a closed session item for which a public hearing has not been held. 10 votes are required for consideration.
All right. Now we will, without objections, those items are now
What's up,
before us.
Keith?
Now I'll ask members if there are any
Warren.
specials.
What's up, Brock? How are you?
I see Mr. Price.
Thank you, Mr.
Can you
Mr.
do
President.
the Audi
Out of
chase
abundance
from a
of
couple
caution,
years
the
ago? I
city
don't know
attorney
which
has
one you're
asked me
talking
to
about.
recuse myself from item 37.
Maybe you
As
can
my
send me a
wife
link or
supporters have
something?
worked with organizations.
I don't even remember an Audi chase.
All right.
Item
Wait, was it a white
Whoever
Audi?
is disrupting the meeting, this is your first warning. If people shout out or disrupt these proceedings in any way, you'll get a warning,
Well,
and then you'll be
starting off
asked
with
to
a bang.
leave, summarily and not come back. Mr. Price is recusing on item number
Of course
37.
he's recusing himself.
All right. So that's been noted. Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Thank you, Council President. I am asking that we move to note and file item number 25. Yesterday, Governor Newsom announced that Cal OES has expedited the
everybody goes
deployment of
through
over
recalls.
$76 million in...
All the Hamasers
If
are
we
angry.
cannot proceed, we're going to clear the chamber.
Clear them all out.
So, members of the public, we need to continue this meeting as a part of city business. So if you do not quiet down and allow us to continue this meeting, you will be subject to Rule 7 and Rule 12 and removed from this meeting.
We're going to ask everyone putting up signs.
I got a sign
We're going to
for
ask
him.
everyone that's putting up signs and shouting out to lower your sign so everybody can see
I got a sign for him.
and to not shout out. And we're going to allow the council member to continue. Councilmember
Fuck
Yaroslavsky.
Hamas. And fuck everybody who defends them.
Sergeant, we've asked this person with a sign right along the middle aisle to put their sign down.
Kick them the fuck out.
You're refusing to put your sign down. We'll excuse you from the meeting.
That's right. Kick them the fuck out.
You can't block. You can't block.
$76 million in...
So I understand that there are a lot of people who want to talk about this item.
Yes, those are
The only way that
firefighters.
you're going to be allowed to speak about this is if you're still in the meeting for general public comment and public comment on the item. So I would ask that everybody
trying not to
please
laugh
remain
at him.
quiet so that you
Look at
can
him.
stay in this meeting and you will be given your
He's trying not to
time
laugh.
or opportunity to speak during general public comment.
Of course there are, Mogul.
Council member.
You'll see them. They'll tell you how to
Yesterday-
divest. Again, she's Jewish,
That's not allowed.
so that's why they
That's
do
not
that.
allowed.
So the second she starts to talk, all the Palestinian puppets start making their noise. It's the only thing
And
they're
we're
good
trying
at.
to get the work done. If you will allow the work to
They
proceed,
contribute nothing to
we
society.
can move our business. Councilmember Yaroslavsky for the third time.
That's what those people are. They're cockroaches. I'll be kick them all out. They probably will. She's
So
gonna.
I'm being told that Richie Sarjenko is one of the people who keeps interrupting this meeting. So, Mr. Sarjenko, this is your first and only formal warning.
How
If
does
you
he
continue
know
to
him
disrupt
already?
This meeting, you will be subject to removal pursuant to Rule 7 and Rule 12.
How does he know him already? I say throw him out of the country,
Yesterday-
not the city hall. Not the city hall, the goddamn country. Put them on a no-fly list so they can't even come back here. And if they do, they got to go fly into another country and walk their way in. Or take a boat to walk their way in.
One more time.
How many more times are we going to do
Yeah,
this?
we're
Yeah,
going to do
because
this
you're,
one more time.
you're an
and then we're gonna have
idiot.
to do this
Because nobody
without an
gives a
audience
fuck
if
about
it
what you
continues.
say, evidently. It's obvious.
Yesterday, Governor Newsom announced that Cal OES has expedited the deployment of over $76 million in state nonprofit security grants, with the application period opening yesterday. Given that this motion was originally intended as a stopgap to expedite this funding, with the anticipation being that we would receive state reimbursement when available, this motion is no longer needed. I want to thank the governor and the Jewish caucus for their leadership in getting this done and for recognizing the urgency of this funding. To reiterate what I said when I introduced this motion last month, the violence we saw on June 27th at Das Torah was...
I say bomb them tenfold. 10x what you're doing. 10x. Till there's nothing left. Then they can colonize a parking lot.
One more outburst. The next outburst will go into recess and conduct this business without an audience, since this audience can't seem to allow business to proceed. One more time, Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Shout out to the desert Nazis.
The violence wasn't the first of its kind, and it won't be the last. Securing this funding for nonprofit security groups is...
Wow, JSV.
All right, Sergeants, can you please...
You should be sponsored by Kleenex.
I can't...
They deserve everything they
In the
get.
back row with,
Every bit of it.
He's wearing a gray baseball cap and has a mustache.
Until they have the balls to denounce
this
this group, they
they
deserve every
Do
bit.
not disrupt this
With
meeting.
nothing but
For every
supporters.
member of the public who is here who
And
is
fuck
currently
everybody
disrupting
living
this meeting
here
or
that
has
supports
been,
this group.
We've provided multiple
Fuck all of
warnings.
you.
We need to move on with the council meeting, which includes
You should be
general
deported
public
along
comment.
with them.
We are unable to do so because of the hissing and the yelling. So please keep your voices down while the council members are speaking. Thank you.
Yeah,
Securing this
what?
funding for
Just
nonprofit
hissing.
security groups is critically important, but it's
Can
just
I
one
hiss?
part of the work
can
we
hiss?
must do to make sure all of our communities are able to gather and worship in peace. First, we're going to be pushing the appropriate city leaders to offer technical assistance to local institutions seeking state funding. My office and Councilmember Blumenfield's
We'll see,
office
Michael.
are also consulting the city attorney's office on how we can institute buffer zones around the entrances to religious institutions and other
Well,
sensitive
they're
sites
doing it
like
now,
Planned
aren't they,
Parenthood.
JSV?
Finally, we're working with the city attorney on
Don't
clarifying
kill
how
us. You're
LAPD
killing all our
protocols for
kids
managing
in our
protests
hospitals and
so
our
that there's
schools.
a transparent
Good.
and clear
10x
set of
that shit.
expectations for everyone to follow.
You'll find
including
out when
law
none of them are
enforcement.
left. There's no
I'm
more
gonna
to
close- I'm
rebuild.
gonna close by thanking
You'll find out.
all the
Cheers.
organizations who have been working on
More
this
bombs.
really important issue in not only my community but all of the communities of Los
Till it's
Angeles.
glass.
We all have religious institutions and communities that don't feel
Hi,
safe
buddy.
right now. I want to thank the Jewish Federation, the Simon Wiesenthal Center, and my colleague Bob Blumenfield, and all of you for your
what are you
partnership
doing
over the
now?
past month
Where are we
and a
going
half as
now?
we've worked together to protect all of our communities in
Where are
Los
we going?
Angeles
Come on, dude.
during what are incredibly challenging times as
on.
we're seeing right now. The polarization is incredibly intense, and we shouldn't
we
be
doing?
seeing that playing out on our streets.
What are we doing?
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember.
Is there a second to this motion?
Yeah, I'm evil. Wah.
It's
Wah.
been moved and seconded. Councilmember
I
Padilla.
kicked the bull. The bull's goring me, and I'm crying like a bitch now, and I'm supposed to feel sorry for you. Wah.
So, Mr.
Kill
Blumenfield
'em
seconded.
all.
I see your button is pushed. Is that?
Every last one of them.
Something else special.
Oh, okay. So, all right.
Till they find
so
out.
that's been moved and seconded. Do we have other specials?
You'll find out. Either you'll stop, or
22?
you'll find out. There won't
All
be
right.
no more of you.
Any other specials?
20 years, we won't have this problem anymore. 20, 30 years.
All right. Thank you,
Quiet.
members, for the specials.
That's what I say.
Next, I'll move that
That's
we
what
adopt
I
the
would do.
recommendations of the Department of Building and Safety for items 2 through 19. Need a second to that motion to move the building and safety recommendations, seconded by Mr. Blumenfield.
Come on.
All right. What are we
I don't
available
care what
to
you
vote
are.
on
You're a
at this time?
sympathizer of terrorists. That's
Mr.
what you
President,
are.
The council may now vote on
You're a
items
terrorist
21,
sympathizer. That's
23,
exactly
and
what you
24.
are.
All right.
Don't
Those
mistake
items
that.
are before us. Let's
Be
open the
proud.
roll,
Why don't you wear your fucking
close
Hamas
the roll,
rules shirt?
Tabulate the vote.
14 eyes.
I love desert Nazis.
All right. What's next?
You know,
Mr.
something
President,
like
the
that.
council may
Be
now
creative at
proceed to
least. I
presentations.
know you guys aren't very
All right,
smart.
we will begin a very
Not very
exciting
bright
day
people.
of presentations led by
In fact,
the
tell me
leader of
one
our Public
thing
Safety
that-
Committee, Councilwoman
One thing that's
Monica
positive
Rodriguez.
that any Palestinian has ever created in their life. Did they invent elevators? What have they done? Just give me one. We're not talking about building tunnels under hospitals and schools. We're not talking about terrorism and cutting. They're great at that. They're great at cutting people's heads off. They're
Thank you,
great
Mr.
at crying
President.
like little
Colleagues,
pussies when they hit somebody and then they
we
get
have
fucking
another
smacked the fuck out and they
bittersweet
cry
day.
like little bitches.
We
They're fantastic
are
at that.
honoring
I said
the
positive
incredible
things for the
service
world.
of an individual who has dedicated 41 years of professional service to our Los Angeles
Thank
Fire
you,
Department.
Kat.
And that is none other than our
Dang,
Chief
Kat.
Deputy Ronnie Villanueva.
Let's
A
go,
round of
Kat.
applause.
You're great at hijacking watermelons. That's what you're great at. Other than
When
that,
I
you're
walked
great
into
at
council
nothing.
today and saw him in
Nothing.
his cities, I thought I
In your
didn't
entire
recognize
existence,
when I first
nothing.
walked in, and I think this is something that we're going to all have to unfortunately get used to. But you know, for many of us, Chief Deputy Villanueva is no stranger. He is someone that has always been accessible and ready to be of service to anybody that sought his assistance.
Hopefully
Chief
they all
Deputy
die too
Villanueva
over
began
there.
his journey with the
Aisle
Los
paint.
Angeles Fire Department on March 13th, 1983. And over the years, he has risen through the ranks with an unwavering dedication, professionalism, and unselfish spirit. From his early days as a firefighter,
What's up, Ian? Thank you,
to his
Ian.
appointment as Chief Deputy in 24, he has served in a
go,
variety
Ian. It's
of
good to see you.
capacities,
Happy,
including engineer,
happy Wednesday.
fire captain 1 and 2, battalion chief, assistant chief,
I don't know if he's there,
and
Kat.
deputy chief, and finally chief deputy. His career
Too early
trajectory
in.
is a testament,
Thank you, Dean Leon's
to
toupee.
his resilience, commitment, and exceptional leadership. Throughout his tenure, he has achieved success in the most challenging of assignments, faithfully serving the city of Los Angeles at a variety of stations
Invented
across
shoe
the
bombing,
city.
but that's not positive.
His special duty
As I
assignments
said, one thing
were
that's
equally
legitimately
impressive,
positive that
including
helped the
roles
world
such
out. Did they
as
invent
captain
combs,
at Drill Tower 89,
hairspray,
battalion chief
nail
in the
polish,
community liaison
anything?
office, assistant chief
Nothing.
in Homeland Security and the Port of Los Angeles, and as chief of staff.
They're born with
His
that
most
room
recent
temperature
role as
IQ
Chief
and no
Deputy in
push, no
Emergency
drive, no nothing.
Operations
What's up, Brock?
underscores his extensive expertise and invaluable
That's why I
contributions.
said they should be the first to be
He
deported.
has faced
Every last one of
countless
them.
emergencies, disasters, and significant events with incredible grace.
Let them go there and fight for their
expertise.
country.
From the 84
that they love so much.
Olympics to the 86 Central Library fire, the 92 civil unrest, 94 Northridge earthquake, to 2019
I said positive,
Getty Center
Oscar.
brush
That's
fire.
not positive.
He has been at the forefront, ensuring safety and well-being for the people of Los
Not
Angeles.
one thing.
Beyond his
Not
professional
one.
achievements,
Not
he
cream
has also been a
cheese.
dedicated mentor
Not egg rolls.
and
Nothing.
educator.
Nothing.
Volunteering as an Explorer Post
Think about
advisor
that.
at Fire Station 2, where I first
In
got
centuries.
to know him, where he, along with my father, were
Nothing.
instrumental in guiding the young men and women, many of whom are now proud members of the Los Angeles City Fire Department. He was among those that were guiding and inspiring the next generation of firefighters.
Definitely not egg
He
rolls,
has
Max.
earned an Associate of Arts degree in the Liberal Arts from Los Angeles Harbor College, a Bachelor of Science degree in Occupational Studies and Vocational Arts from Cal
think
State
there's too many
University
camels
Long
in
Beach,
Palestine.
and a Master's degree in
But all right,
Leadership
could be wrong,
from
but
the
I don't
University
think so.
of Southern California.
Thank you, Golf. Appreciate
Chief
you, Golf,
Deputy
for this one and you
Villanueva's
won yesterday.
Involvement extended to numerous committees, including the Area Maritime Security Committee, Fire Scope, and the Southern California Industrial Mutual
Of course,
Aid
'cause they're
Organization,
cockroaches, Rob. They don't
and
want
the LA
cockroaches
Fire
in their
Chiefs
place.
Association Regional Training Group, and the National Fire Protection Association. Throughout his illustrious career, he has earned the
Their own
respect
people
and
don't want
admiration
him in
of
there.
so many of his peers and subordinates
Gotta tell you
throughout
something.
the department, and of course,
Egypt's
around
like,
his
"You stay the
horseshoe and
fuck
among
out."
many other staff. Again,
No, it's
Ronnie
like the
Villanueva
all-seeing
is
eye.
someone
I
that
don't know.
everyone
It
has
probably
gone
has
to
something to
when
do
you
with
read it, but I
Illuminati
think
or some
it's through
stupid
his
shit. Who
incredible
knows?
example, and I know his
They'll hold up
collaboration,
watermelon signs.
working alongside
They're trying to
my fellow
hijack the
teams,
watermelon.
That so many young people.
Oh,
have
there's
continued
Andrew
to find their
Gravener, the
way
idiot,
into fire
with his
service
mask
into
on.
the greatest
23, guys.
department in the entire
23 will be
world.
the
And it's for
under
that
over
reason
today.
that I'm so honored
23.
And saddened to see just another generation of incredible stewards of public
Jace?
safety take their well-earned retirement. But it again is bittersweet, but I know that there will continue to be an example and legacy that has also been reflective through the brass that you've seen behind me, because he has been no stranger to lending a hand and being just an incredible mentor to so many. And so with that, I am proud to be joined, of course, by our illustrious chief of the LA City Fire Department, who I'd like to introduce.
Well,
for some remarks,
Marxism,
and that is none
communism,
other than Chief
DEI, it's all
Christopher
wrapped
Allen.
in one.
Thank you.
fake equality.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for taking the
Equity.
time to celebrate Chief Villanueva. 41 years of service, Chief Villanueva,
she's a woman.
on behalf of the entire LAFD. We are so
She's the
very
chief of
proud
the
you.
fire department,
and
though.
I think back to your many, many years of service. You look at the team behind us, you look at the LAFD as a whole, and I can tell you we are a better organization because of your leadership. And also, I want to recognize your sacrifice of the time and efforts, but also your family's sacrifice. We can never forget about the families.
Thank you,
I
Allison.
think back when I first met you, that was nearly 25
Camel toe.
years ago, you spoke about him
Thank you,
being
Allison.
a trainer in the academy. I was one of his recruits. And here we are, nearly 25 years later.
Dr.
Chief
Truth
Villanueva has been a continued mentor to me. He's shown and demonstrated what right looks like, but I think back even
I don't
then,
think anybody
he was
really is,
fair.
except for the
He was
puppets,
just.
Allison.
He
Only
was a
puppets are
leader.
fans of that woman.
Even back then as a captain, he was
And I
Captain
use that word
Villanueva to me
woman
at that
very
time.
loosely.
So fast forward many, many years, here we are, being here to celebrate you. And I can tell each and every one of you that are here, the LAFD is a better organization because of Chief Villanueva and what you're able to show us what right looks like. So again, thank you for your sacrifice. You will be missed, but with that, you set us up for success. Thank you so much.
Whatever happened
Thank
to
you,
just
Chief.
being the best on
And
the
I
job?
think you said it very well.
No matter
And
your
again,
gender, your
it
color, your
is,
sex,
it
sexual
is
orientation.
an incredible sacrifice, and we also
That doesn't
often
happen
forget
anymore.
about the
We need
impact
more
to the
gay.
family.
Yeah, she's not gay
you know,
enough. We need some.
the
Oh, yes,
women,
you're gay
during
enough.
some
You're
of the
plenty
most-
gay. Come on over
some
here.
of our biggest historic.
All right, you're in charge
events
since
in
you're
the city
plenty
family.
gay.
And I always reflect on the impacts of what that is to the family when they have to wait around and just hear either from the news, because in a time when there weren't cell phones or there
What's up,
wasn't
Jason?
Social media, we had to rely on that one phone call that we got for many of the families that we got.
What are we talking about here, ma'am?
Near the
We've
end
had phones
of,
since the 90s.
of
Like, what are we
towards their
talking
shift
about here?
Before they went into overnight.
Talking about
And
shit that
so
happened
there
40
are
years ago?
tremendous impacts and sacrifices that the
When you were a
families
little
make as well.
twat?
And so, Ronnie, we
Like,
thank you
come on.
for your incredible dedication and service to the people of Los Angeles. You have, in fact, made this department better because of your leadership. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the man of the hour, Chief Deputy Ronnie Villanueva.
Well,
Oh, man, I see pink hoodies in that yellow green shirt.
I'm really humbled by the crowd behind
This would
me.
be chartreuse or something. I don't know.
My peers that I've worked with for years, that they showed up today. And it's really, really warms my heart. Also, it's really feels weird to tell you that, to be in a civilian
Sounds still
uniform
fucked
after
up. Hear it?
41 years I was done.
He's nowhere near that mic.
And I showed up today, and the person down in the garage was like,
I know you hear
"Who
it.
are you?"
I know you do.
You know, and so.
So
that
evidently,
title
we
is
had
on.
this all yesterday. We couldn't figure it
It's
out
always,
after the
it'll
show.
always be with me, of course. I'd like to thank all of you, the council members.
cares?
For what you do day in and day out for the public. I also like to thank the public for allowing me to serve you for 41 years. That has been an honor and quite a journey with no regrets as well. And that's pretty.
You can hear it, right,
that's
Robo?
pretty good. After all this time,
That's not me.
I wouldn't change anything. All the relationships that I've built, and I've said this before, and I'm sure the crowd behind me is tired of hearing it, but all of you made me who I am. Took a little bit of
Ooh,
I've had interactions
he
with
might
all
get a
of you.
gold one, Dodgers. You might be right on that one. He's definitely getting a frame, but will he get the
But-
gold one?
That's what creates.
Let me
the
think
person
about
that is
this for a
individual.
second.
And I was able to strive and be where I.
I
ended
think
up
so. I think you're right. I think he's going to get a gold.
because of everyone that I surrounded myself with. So it's all of you that made me
Terry,
successful.
let's go, Terry.
Impressive.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
For Chief. I was minding my own business down in South Bureau a year ago. or
Thanks,
a
Terry.
year and a half now. And she asked me to come up to be her chief of staff.
Is that
I
where
just
you want to
lived
lay
3
now?
miles
Okay, hold on. You
from
got
my
a new
office in
spot?
San Pedro.
Okay.
And,
Give me a sec
I
here.
said,
We'll
sure,
figure it
I'll
out.
come up. Well,
Get you going in. We'll get you locked in,
that
kid.
was, and she told me, I'd like you to sprint across the finish line. Well, I got to sprint across the finish line.
This is going to
And
not work well, I'm sure.
it was
of
nonstop
Come on.
because after just maybe a month or so, she made me the chief deputy of emergency operations. And that's a big chore. But busy, 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 and that year went by so fast. And when the final day came and they did the last call for me, it just all came rushing back of the accomplishment. So it's very gratifying being a civil servant and to be able to serve.
No, you
the
can't
public
see him
and
too
serve
well.
all
It's
of you.
just that's why he
So
likes it
with
over there
that,
because it's dark.
I'd like to thank you all for the opportunity.
But he's there.
I'd like to thank the council members,
All right.
Sally,
Come on, everybody.
everyone
Smoke.
and the public, and Ronnie V out.
Thank you so much.
Well, not everybody's going to like him.
Councilmember Rodriguez, we have, as you can imagine, we have a handful of members on the queue. We'll begin with Councilmember Park.
Thank you, Council
A
President.
little
and
terrorist right there.
Councilwoman Rodriguez,
His face
thank you so
covered
much
because he's
for
frightened.
leading this presentation. Chief, I'm going to be brief, but 41 years of service to our department is remarkable. Climbing through the ranks to become
I think you should
a
all get
leader
on your
and
knees
see
and
our
let him
city
fucking mushroom
through
stamp you all
so
one by
many
one.
critical, formative incidents is truly remarkable. And while the department can never replace your knowledge and your experience, I have no doubt.
Yeah. What is their
that the
medal count? Just another dude?
That you've demonstrated throughout your career is going to be reflected in the many who follow in your footsteps.
I mean, if
I also
grenade
wanted to
throwing or
personally
rock
thank
throwing
you
is an
for
event
your
in the
friendship.
Olympics, and it might be now.
When
I don't know.
arrived here as a
They're gonna be
newcomer and
a top
outsider to the city
tier.
of Los Angeles, you were immediately a friend and a mentor, and I'm only sorry that our time together wasn't longer.
I don't know, David. You have to
Gonna
ask
miss you,
yourself.
But congratulations on your legislative retirement.
I know a lot of you are angry because your month is
Councilmember
over
Hutt.
and all that. It'll come back around
Thank
next
you,
year,
Mr.
though. I
Chair.
promise. It'll be back.
Thank you, Councilwoman Rodriguez, for making sure that we take this time to honor Ronnie B. As a newcomer for me, you know, you came right over and you're like, I'm here for you. But you know what? You have been here for the whole city for 41 years. You have been a hero in so many different ways. And you even brought up our chief. That's so exciting to know.
What's up, CW? How are you?
That's
Good
the
morning.
kind of legacy that you leave. You certainly are going to be missed, and I'm really excited about what this next part of your journey is. You talked about family and grandchildren, and I think that's so wonderful that you're able to spend that kind of time.
Hey,
We
sold another
appreciate you
jazz
so
rookie.
much, and all the
What a
firefighters.
shocker.
That really, it's a labor of love. It's a career of love.
Oh,
Thank you so
boy.
much.
Councilmember McCosker.
Thank you so much, council member.
Why don't they hold up giant watermelons
Ronnie, it's fantastic. Look at all those gold badges.
since they've done their best to try to hold up, to hijack the
for me,
watermelon.
This is just a reminder that you actually have a title and you have a last name. Because in the 1-5 down south, it's Ronnie. Call Ronnie. If we have, if someone's
1-5.
making an important decision about running for office, which is my case, call Ronnie. Sit down with Ronnie. If you're going to try to put lights on the holiday tree, we need a ladder, call Ronnie. If the fire inspector shuts you down at the last second, I'm not naming any names, Chief, and you need some help, call Ronnie. Everything down in our bureau is call Ronnie. And you know, the personal side, you know how deeply my brothers love you. And my brother Mike, God rest his soul.
Jason seen some giant watermelons on Fig. He did. Jason loved Fig. He's the ambassador of Figueroa.
And every single time I knew of a kid in our district, one who's very close to me, who made the job and went into the tower, you always said the same thing. Give him my number. Give that person my number. That young woman my number. That young kid my number.
Of course you want the kid to have your number.
Really embedded in you.
Fucking
You want to
pedo.
bring up the next generation of city officers, firefighters. You won't be missed
I
by
ain't trying
us
to talk to
because
no
you're gonna
young
be in
kids.
Pedro. I remember that day.
Unless
Just
it's in
two
front of their
floors down
parents.
From my office in the San Pedro. I remember
Ain't
that day
happening.
when you told
Not
me
about
you
nothing.
were heading downtown. And we were all happy for you, happy for the chief, of course, sad for us, but we're glad you're going to be around the harbor. You're going to be involved in everything. You're always going to be Ronnie to us. And for that little piece of me that became you, I apologize if it was a bad piece of me. We have all really, really been blessed, not just the department, the city, and our region, and our community by your service. So thank you. And God bless you.
Jesus, 34,000 gallons in his
Councilmember
volume.
Hernandez.
Thank you, Council President. Thank you, Councilmember Rodriguez.
More wildlife,
for
man,
bringing
get
in
snuffed
to
out, and they don't
celebrate
care.
and uplift Chief Villanueva. You know, since the moment I got here, you were one of the members to welcome me.
I don't
with
care what
open
you guys
arms,
say. I
to
think
say,
she's losing a
similar
little
to what,
weight.
Councilwoman Heather Hutt said,
She looks a
reach
little
out
thinner.
if you need anything. And I can't tell you enough how much that
She
means
working
to me,
out.
coming into a space
It's
where I'm
working.
having to learn everything from scratch, but knowing that I can lean on folks like you. And, you know, during your comments, you talked about working with your members that are with you. But what I just want to share is that you have left an imprint beyond your time. You have people who have worked with you here for decades. You have members who have worked with you for a few years.
Dodgers.
But that is imprinted into the Los Angeles
Call
Fire
those
Department
epic.
for decades to come.
Oh,
And you did that.
Ozempic.
And the 41 years that you gave to the city will not be forgotten, not by generations of firefighters in the city of Los Angeles. So you've made an imprint in that, but your leadership in teaching others, I think, is one of the most valuable pieces.
Well, that's
that
a
we can
start,
never,
Brian.
Like, we can't look away from. Because
We
you
all got to
created
start
other
somewhere.
leaders that,
I started
when-
somewhere.
As you transition
Little
into
changes
your
first.
retirement, you know that the fire department is going to be solid because of the leadership that you've instilled in others. So I just appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. Please enjoy. I hope that you can get some good ingredients for that tuna and enjoy your walks. But just thank you so much for your dedication to the city of Los Angeles and all the work you've done. It's just been really beautiful to watch and beautiful to see the other members that you've cultivated thriving and helping the fire department as well thrive. Thank you.
And Councilmember Lee.
Thank you, Councilmember Rodriguez, for bringing this true hero of the city into chambers today. You know, on behalf of all the residents of CD12, just want to thank you for all your years of service and keeping them safe. But not only that, but for passing that down to the generations behind you and making sure that our city, you know, remains the safe place that you've helped create. But after 41 years, I know it's hard to take off that uniform and go into retirement, but you deserve it. You deserve to spend more time with your family, spend more time with your grandchildren, play a little golf, and finally read that big Civil War book that's been sitting on your table for all these years. And
That you never
just wanna
read.
personally
But you
thank
seem
It's
like you're
been said
smart,
by
like you
all
know
people
things.
before me. Just your willingness to work with our offices, that just can-do attitude.
They're sucking his cock right now.
Just
Arc.
how do we get to yes? How do we make this
An arc.
happen? You've always been there
That's
for
what they're
all of us.
they're
and I just
blowing
wanna
him right
say,
now. They're
from
each
me
taking their
personally,
turn,
thank you very
getting the
much for all your
mushroom
years of
stamp.
service.
It's really what's basically happening right now.
Thank you so much, members, and hopefully you can feel the gratefulness of this city for your work and for your sacrifice and your contribution for those of us who have an official role in the city, but for also just those residents who see a guy in a uniform with a big truck. I can remember so many young people running up to you at our events in the community, and you receiving all of them and taking the pictures and touching their lives. And those kids never forget those incredible moments. And so thank you for that on behalf of Angelenos. Councilmember Rodriguez to close.
Thank you, colleagues. And again, thank you for your generous remarks.
Thanks, Meg.
They
Sit down.
are well-deserved and earned. And I want to thank you
Sit
for
down, Meg.
joining me in really honoring an individual who is so deserving for all of the immeasurable contributions that have been made, not just to the Los Angeles City Fire Department, but to the entire city of Los Angeles. And of course, as many of you indicated, even into helping to broaden and deepen your understanding of the Los Angeles Fire Department. So with that, Ronnie V, thank you for all of your years of friendship and your continued service to the people of Los Angeles, to all the members of the Los Angeles City Fire Department, including my father. We appreciate you.
Of course, it
and
brings
wish
it
you
into
very
about
best
her.
in health and retirement.
No gold frame. We knew he'd get a frame, but no gold one. There you go. he gets skunked. He gets the old cherry wood leftover, in the $10 bin at Michael's. Oh, the cherry wood ones? Yeah, they're over in the corner. They're on special. Oh, there's our homeboy. See, in the yellow green shirt. That's a pink hoodie.
Councilmember
with the
Hernandez,
3-inch
you've got a
dick.
special before we continue.
This 3-inch shrimp dick. I can't believe he told us yesterday about his 3-inch shrimp dick and how the cops saved him because he was so depressed about having a small cock.
Yes.
Like, why did he do it? Why? I'm sure it's just
Item
a gag.
18 for 30 days.
Sure it
For
is,
the
but
record, that
why?
would be Friday, August 30th, 2024.
All right. Without objection.
Yes, please. Thank
All right. Does she need a
But
second
he
for this?
referred to it as a
Yes,
shrimp
please.
dick. That's
Seconded
the
by
best
Mr.
part.
Bloomfield.
There's a little
Excellent.
3-inch shrimp.
All right. Mr. City Attorney, I understand that we have a fair hearing item on the agenda today. Would you please explain the procedures for that item, which should be taken up before
He does love
we go to public
Figueroa.
comment?
He does love
Yes,
the
Mr. President, but I just
LAPD.
wanted to confirm, are the appellants in the room now?
I think he's awesome. I think he's an absolute treat to listen to.
So
I
this
could
would
listen
be
to
on
him
item
talk
number
for fucking
20. Are the
25
appellants
straight
on
minutes.
item
No
number 20
interruptions.
in the room? Perfect.
Popcorn shrimp dick? Shit, yeah. He's one of the best,
So as
dude.
stated by the council president, item number 20 is a fair hearing matter. So we should give the interested parties, both the applicant and the appellant, 5 minutes to present the case for each side.
Great.
Members of the public will have an opportunity to speak about this item as
Okay.
part of their comment
Fuck.
during the public comment on the agenda after the fair hearing. So we should start with the applicant. and the
Another
appellant.
jazz rookie
Let
just
me
sold.
remind the
See what I
members
mean?
that as
They're
a
just
fair hearing,
flying.
as a quasi-judicial hearing, that everyone should be paying heightened attention to the comments of the interested parties. Again, you will have 5 minutes, and we will not interrupt you as long as you are speaking on the item.
Can't wait to hear this. Actually, I don't really want to hear the argument, the argument going back and forth, pro and con, but I guess it is what it is.
And before the interested parties come up, just for the interested parties, we will let you know when your time has expired. In order to be fair to both sides, we need to be diligent about monitoring the time. So please keep in mind that we will step in very shortly after the 5 minutes expires. Thank you.
Hello, council members. Thank you very much for seeing us today. My name's Tony Russo, Tonyrusso, on behalf of Crest Real Estate, representing the owner and client of the property. I just wanted to briefly touch on some of the appeal points. So, we do sympathize with the appellants. This area of the city, known as the Bird Streets, is inundated with construction. And there has been a long history of different conditions, construction conditions, that have been imposed on this specific area and other areas in the hillside area. Most particularly and recently, the hillside construction regulation zone that covers this area specifies certain conditions of approval that helps minimize the impacts of construction. In addition, the Bird Streets specifically has had very specific and restrictive construction conditions added on to haul routes to help minimize some of these construction impacts that the appellants will discuss as part of their appeal. First and foremost is what's called the Bird Streets haul route cap, meaning that only one project in the entire area of the Bird Streets can haul at any given time. They're limited to 24 truck trips per day, and it's a very, very restrictive condition because of the amount of construction that's in the area and because of the narrow streets. On top of that, and I know they're going to talk to you about the 2 different HOAs in the area. There is the Lower Doheny HOA called the Doheny Sunset Plaza Neighborhood Association, and the Upper Doheny HOA called the Doheny Estates.
Those must be
I'm going to
awesome
specify
people.
the differences between the two real quickly and discuss the efforts that we've made with both HOAs to, again, address their concerns, the HOAs. The Upper Doheny HOA has CC&Rs. You have to work through those CC&Rs, you have to submit plans to them and get approval for those CC&Rs. We are working with that HOA to address those CC&Rs, but that is obviously a private and a civil matter and does not pertain to the city. It's not a city process. Nonetheless, we are still working with them to navigate that process, that submission process, and their architectural review committee. Separately, to address the broader concerns with regard to construction in this area, this applicant, as well as many other developers in the area, have agreed to private agreements, construction monitoring agreements, to add even more conditions onto different development projects, specifically homes in the area, that help minimize, again, these construction impacts, such as reduction in construction vehicle parking on the streets, limited hours, and monitoring by an actual construction monitor that the HOA hires. So I really do have to tell council that our office,
I wish I could get these at
as
Walmart.
well as these HOAs, have done
Be easy.
the most that they possibly
They're
can
not.
do to
Well, you
address
guess you could
the
get
appellant's
turkey
concerns.
bag and use it.
We have conveyed that message
So
to the
much-
council office, CD4, and we do believe that the appeal should be denied, and we gratefully hope that you support the project. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, now we'll hear from.
I think the split HOA thing is because they get a big area. They don't want one HOA doing all the work, so you cut it in half and have one do the top half, the other do the bottom half. Kind of makes it a little easier, I guess, on the HOA as a whole. I think that's what they're doing. It's just two different sections, but probably the same HOA in a sense. I don't know. It's what I would guess or gather. Yeah, HOAs are never fun. You can't do anything that you just want to do.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jeffrey Frankel, and I live directly across the street from the 9283.
Like, I couldn't have my antenna up right now that we have if I was in an HOA area. There's no way they'd do it. You take that fucking thing down.
The biggest concern the neighbors and I have is safety. We're just putting it out there that
Yeah, Todd, they're pretty annoying.
safety issues because of the tremendous safety issues because of the construction. It's a one-way in and one-way out street, and it's 2 lanes, but we never have 2 lanes during the construction. If there's a fire, if there's a person that needs an ambulance, I can assure you there's going to be issues with that. I have photos showing the bottlenecks that occur.
Me too, Terry.
We don't want to cease development in the neighborhood. We don't want to cease this gentleman's development. We just are very, very concerned about our safety. And I brought photos to demonstrate.
But there is two sides to that coin. Your neighbor who keeps their house like shit, paints their house polka dot pink, can't do any of that shit.
In terms of the
so it keeps your property value up.
the HOA and the
But you have to find like-minded individuals who are willing to be under the thumb of an HOA that want to buy your property. So, two sides to every coin.
The city got up and explained about all the different rules they put in place, but they're not actually being enforced. If in fact the workers' cars were not there, if in fact there were people that were making sure that the traffic flowed properly, then it would be different. So what we really came here today to do is say, please, somebody from the city that understands what's actually happening comes up and sees the difference between the rules that the gentleman before me discussed and what's
Houses,
actually
yeah,
happening. What's
but not
actually
like
happening is the rules are
condos.
completely ignored. The cars are
Can't
everywhere.
sell them like that. You can't rent out a
There's job
condo,
on Robbie
buy it,
Drive
and then
right
rent it
now,
out.
which blocks
They don't allow that a
Delaney
lot of times.
completely at times. The workers are not supposed
You
to
have
be
to
there.
live in it.
They were given a route and told the workers shouldn't be there, but they're there. And
They want the
Someone has to enforce that.
overhead
Our HOA isn't gonna
and
be
the final
monitor.
say of who
It's not
lives
for
in
our
that
HOA
community
to
and who
monitor. It's the
doesn't.
city to
Not
protect
you.
This community from potential disaster. Another thing that I wanted to mention is
Just make cars illegal.
CCNRs,
Props.
they're not relevant here. The gentleman before me is correct. Although
Soon
the
enough,
amount
they'll
of
be taking your
compliance
cars. They want to take your
working
guns
with
already
Joaquin
by November.
State's, HOA is minimal at best, and it would be helpful if they did that, but they're not going. They don't appear to be doing it. So the bottom line on this is
They're communists,
it's a
Chris.
real hazardous
Half of those
situation
people,
we're
if not
living in.
all, are their voter base. That's their
The other
voter
thing I
base.
wanted
These
to
people's
dismiss
voter
was,
base.
Yes, they're only allowed 24 trucks a day. There's a whole
If you think any of those people sitting in that crowd vote
digs
Republican,
that
you're crazy.
require more than 1,000 cubic square feet to be
Every
removed.
one of these people on the
Most of them
horseshoe,
don't. So
every
there's
single
trucks-
one,
there's tons of trucks
is a
coming
Democrat.
all day that-
There are no
that doesn't
Republicans
apply.
in this
Any
room,
caps-
unless they
cap only applies
are
to
quiet
big
about
digs.
it.
This particular project
Certainly not in
is
power.
a dig
All right, everybody.
in excess of
Smoke.
3 times the fat. So while they say there's 24 truck a day limit, it's only for the big jobs. We have 7 jobs currently going and 6 more coming, and any of them that are under 1,000 cubic square feet or whatever the proper measurement is, they'll just have many more trucks in addition to the 24. So it's completely chaotic up there.
You should,
it's very
Shark Bite.
unsafe. There's no way for a fire engine to get through at times of the day. And ultimately, it's going to lead
No,
to
Mike,
some
it
sort
isn't.
of horrible situation.
They'd never get anything
Please,
done.
I-
Not that
we've
they
had-
do now.
We've had truck
But if it
incidents
was
up there.
half-half,
We have a statement
never
from
agree
one
on
of our
anything.
neighbors
Be a
saying that
stalemate
he
all
had a
day.
near-miss accident. Another one of my neighbors I know went on the portal this week, and she registered her concerns about the trucks coming up and down and the risk it put her family at. There's just too much risk with the trucks without at least somebody coming up. We only ask, our ask today is that you put a pin in this until proper people come up and say, these are the rules. Are they being, is it actually being enforced? Because you could put 100 rules in and make everything look safe and then let chaos ensue and say, well, we have rules. It's the rules that have to be enforced. It's the things the city has done that are being ignored that need to be enforced. So we ask that somebody come
Well,
up,
that kind of
put a
stuff
pin
has
in
to pass the Supreme Court,
the,
top secret.
exemption
I don't think it
until
will.
such time as they see what is
But
actually
you never
happening
know.
as opposed to what the theoretical is. And I'll thank you for your time since I came in under 5 minutes.
Car makers, you know, the lobbyists, they have a lot of,
Photos. May I submit them to
the
somebody?
lobbyists and the car makers have a lot of
Just-
power.
Sergeant to your left.
You know what I mean? A lot of times they're fucking the American people all day long, and the courts actually
right.
end up
Mr. City
protecting
Attorney,
them
we've-
because of the money they kick these people back.
Heard from the applicant and the appellant
So
on this item.
something like that could happen. Who knows? But it is what it
Yes,
is.
so Mr. President, now we can move on.
If it
to
ever gets
public
that
comment.
kind of commie,
All right.
I don't know.
So we're now
You're
moving
gonna
on to
see
public
drastic
comments,
changes.
agenda items, notice for public hearing, and items for which public hearings have not been held. Please note today's meeting includes a call-in option for public comment. Public
Shit,
comment
yeah,
will be
Draco.
taken both
Enjoy.
in
It's going to
person
take a
in
little
council
bit, though. They're
chamber
going to send you
and
an
via
email
teleconference.
saying it's
Mr. Clerk,
shipped,
could you please
and it hadn't
read out
really
call-in
shipped. It'll be
information
4 days,
that was
5 days
also
before it
provided on the
actually
printed
ships.
Agenda.
But
Thank
then you
Mr.
should get it
President.
quick,
As
especially if
indicated
you're in
on the
Cali,
agenda,
because they're
members
in
of the public
California.
wishing to offer public comment should
All right,
call
here you go, guys. You want to call in? There you go.
669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466 and then press pound.
Whoop.
Then press pound again when prompted
There's
for
the number right
participant
there.
ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press *9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press *6 to mute. Let me repeat. Call 669-254-5252.
It was fun, right, Laguna?
And use meeting ID number 160-535-8466 and then press pound. Then press pound
Somebody
again
here.
when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press *9 to request to speak. When it is your
All
turn
right,
to
here we
speak,
go,
an
guys.
automated Zoom voice will
We're
ask you to
about to
press
get public
*6 to
comment
mute.
here, general public comment incoming.
To people providing public comment, when it is your turn to speak, either at the podium or on the phone.
His hair looks
please
all right
state
today.
which of the
He
agenda
combed
items
it.
you'd like to speak to. You will have 1 minute per item, up to 3 minutes total for the items open for public comment. We will tell you when your time is up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you are not on topic, or if we cannot tell whether you are on topic, you will get one brief warning from me or the council president.
Yeah, because they want
At
to
that
see your
point,
number.
You need to get immediately and clearly on topic. If you do not do so,
cowlick.
or if you again stray off topic, you will forfeit the rest of your speaking time, and we will move on to the next speaker. The items open for public comment are items 1 through 20 and items 25 through 37.
Did
So
Calgon
again,
make shampoo?
the items that are open for
It
public
was just
comment
soap,
are
right?
items
Wasn't
number
Calgon
1
just soap?
through
Bath
20
soap? Or...
and items 25 through 37. Members of the public may also speak for up to 1 minute for general public comment.
Big brain energy.
During
So
general
Darla.
public comment, members of the public may speak
You
to
never
any
know,
of the
Darla,
items
too. He might be
or
hung
anything
like a
else on the
horse.
city's subject matter jurisdiction. For members of the
Dresses
public
well,
only,
makes a lot of money. He's a
when it is your
lawyer.
turn to speak, an automated message
Parents
to
will
you
love him,
will prompt
Darla.
you to
Bring
press
him on
star
home.
6 to unmute yourself.
But, Mom, he's
do
got
not
a
do so,
horse like a
Council
dick.
staff will prompt you
I mean, a dick like a horse.
At that point, you need to immediately unmute yourself, or unfortunately,
Everybody will forgive you.
finally, because of a brief time delay between
All your
the live
girlfriends are
meeting
like,
and
why'd you like him, Darla?
two things are
You just go.
important. First, while waiting for your turn to speak, please keep an ear to the phone so you know in real time when it is your turn to press star 6 to unmute. Second, if you're listening to this meeting on another device, please turn down the volume on that device immediately when it's your turn to speak. Between the time delay and feedback, it will cause a great deal of confusion.
Could be 3 inches
when you listen
wide.
on your other devices. Thank you.
I can't wait for him. He's right there with the. He's so ready. He's the first one standing. He's been there the whole time. He's so awesome. Like it's like he's reading a script right now. He's getting into character.
Alejandro Lombardo, Andrew Graebner.
Remember,
Claudia
23
Brown,
over under.
Donald Harlan.
Oh my God, Cat!
Stacey Bollinger,
Cat! Cat! Is he there, Cat?
May you please?
Please, I want Donald Harlan. Let me see some Donald Harlan. Please let that be real, not be somebody who just signed his name up. Please let it be Donald Harlan. I don't see him, but I'm keeping the faith. I'm keeping the faith. All right, over, under. Most of you guys are going with the under 23. He was right on the 22 yesterday that I called, so.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm here. I'm a resident in the Doheny Estates area. We are extremely concerned with the development that's happening in the area.
And Speaker, before you begin, if you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Yes, item number 20.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item number 20.
Okay, so I'm one of the neighbors in this area, and we're really concerned about the amount of construction is happening in this very small area in the hills. It's only one way in and one way out. Now, I like all these developers saying that they have all these special requirements, so many requirements for these developments, but nobody is monitoring these requirements. And we're asking for the city just to put a pause so they can go and assess the area and what's going on. There's been some near accidents going on, and we're extremely concerned about the safety, and especially if it's a fire there, I don't know how we're going to get out of the area.
They don't care. They want you dead.
Okay, right now there is 7 projects going on and 6 more approved. So it's extremely concerning who is monitoring the amount of trucks that are coming in and out, the amount of workers going with their own cars. It's incredible. The amount of traffic is impossible.
General public comment.
Thank you.
Good.
Could have had a whole nother minute just to say whatever he wanted. Here we go.
Good morning.
I'll just do general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
Oh, man.
Go ahead.
All right. First
Definitely
of all,
under.
I'd like to remind you that the council rules do in fact allow signs. That is specifically allowed by the council rules. So I mean, I guess you're withdrawing this motion. I'm not sure how it works if Newsom's just giving money, but if it does come through city, you need to reject any of those funds. And you need to stop lying about what happened. The ones who were violent were the pro-genocide people who were attacking the people protesting. It was an event where they were selling off stolen land. But you keep claiming that it was a, anti-Semitic thing or whatever, and you keep lying about it. And this motion was born out of a, meeting with an InfoWars host. And Kevin needs to resign.
So nobody wins today, guys, because, again, he only decided to do general comment. But even 6 in 1 minute. Oh, there's Stacy.
Before the next speaker begins, I'm going to call a few more names.
This
Mike,
is great.
Duarte
Underneath the
Floyd,
mask. I love it.
Figueroa Hernandez.
Figueroa
George
Hernandez.
Duarte, Chris
Is-
Masai
Bro,
H,
is that the
Richie
is that the
S,
Asian dude, Figueroa
West.
Hernandez? We know he likes Fig. Is he Figueroa for Hernandez?
Thank you, Grote. Good morning to you, too. I'd like to speak on all items in general public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for
Remember,
general public comment.
song title
Thank you.
and artist.
So I'll begin with item 20. So for those who don't attend these meetings often, when we talk about CEQA, CEQA. What that stands for is California Environmental Quality Act. So we see CEQA exemption approvals and appeals a lot on these agendas. And it seems like we have these structures in place, but then when they become inconvenient, we just say they don't count. And that's not very strong policy with regard to the environment. And I would like to echo the concerns of the appellant and the other gentleman that was just up here. Rules only work as far as they're enforced, and there's no enforcement on these guidelines, and you cannot trust developers or profit seekers to follow rules when they're seeking money. So let me go on to some other items that are business improvement districts and rent escrow account programs. So business improvement districts are meant to revitalize areas by incentivizing businesses and providing that area with things like augmented sanitation services and quote-unquote beautification. And that all sounds nice in theory, but my issue is that we incentivize, again, profit-seeking, but then there's no follow-through on recourse, making sure that the businesses we're subsidizing are providing services that lots of people can enjoy. So rather than a high-priced fine dining restaurant, a fast casual place where you don't have to work 6 hours to afford one meal. Or instead of like a Medi Spa where you get Botox, like an actual clinic where people can get necessary healthcare services. So while we're working on these business improvement districts, let's actually look at the services these businesses are providing, and are they actually paying wages so their workers can live nearby work?
Smoke.
So let's go to the rent escrow account program items. When landlords do not live up to their end of the contract, do the tenants get a break on rent? No. Landlords put money in a secret account that no one gets to touch, and then once they meet abatement requirements, they get all that money back. So I like to use the analogy of if I'm serving you at a restaurant and you order a milkshake and a burger and fries, and I bring you the fries and a glass of water, do you think you're still going to have to pay for the milkshake and the burger, even though you didn't eat them? Do you think it would be fair for me to tell you you still have to pay, and I can collect on that as long as I get it to you anytime I want? That doesn't make sense in the real world, but this is how landlords get to do business because our council body works for property owners and not workers or renters. Taking this motion off today won't stop the people who've come here to say we don't like these violent things that we've read. You're gonna give mugging state funds instead, and I'm just a boy yelling free, free Palestine.
Oh, no doubt.
I can't if you say
what song?
genocide. Oh, I'm just a boy standing with my comrades.
Just a girl, no doubt.
Get this elected body on our side. Oh, we've had it up to here. I'm just a boy in a ploy to find an apartheid regime. Oh, I'm just a boy. If I get raped by a Jew, the Zionists say
Get
it's
raped
not
by
a
a Jew.
crime. Oh, I'm just a boy. What am I to do about Bob and Katie and their line? Oh, are we making ourselves clear? Fuck Zionism, fuck Morgan, and free Palestine!
Next speaker.
There's so many Jewish rapists out there.
So, members of the public, we have somebody at the podium who would like to give their public comment. So please do not disrupt their public comment. We need to continue with this meeting. Good morning. Which items would you like to
She
speak
riled up the domestic terrorists.
Very quick, City Attorney, what I'm trying to ask earlier is, during the general public comment...
So, Speaker, this is not a Q&A session. This is your opportunity to speak to this body. So, which items would you like to speak to?
Everything.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Number 11 is about South Figueroa Street for lien. I am on the side of the contractor because as a homeless resident in the Figueroa Street, I know firsthand experience, majority of the house are not paid. For what a lot of squatters operating secret services inside of the Figueroa Street. A lot of the people hire contractors, but they was never paid. So I am here to talking about for the appeal, and then for this agenda, and then the reason why I want to appeal is I know there are so many illegal operations in Figueroa Street, which is this council, this city continue to ignore. And then for me, speaking numerous times about the illegal activity, nobody care.
Nope.
Number 25 is about Bloomfield implement community safety enhancement. You already know before I speak, I support anything that is community safety, because I know in Figueroa Street is not safe. Why it's not safe? I don't know.
Because
Jason. That's not my job. Why those people on the sidewalk continue to stop the car? How is that safe? Why those people still standing on the side of the street wearing a bikini in the winter, and then soliciting whatever services they offer? Is that safe? We have tourists, we have high school kids, we have middle school kids pass through those neighborhoods on a daily basis.
Elementary.
And they will continue to be offered of those Figueroa services. Is that safe?
No.
Number 35.
Middle school kids getting their dick sucked.
35 is another Figueroa Street item on the rent escrow account. I do not support this agenda. I do not support this motion because I do not believe it should be removed, because I do not believe the property owners are fixing the street, are fixing the whatever broken toilet inside of the property. There could be a broken toilet, there could be a broken floor, there could be a broken air conditioning, there could be a broken kitchen, but if all those services are not being repaired, and I do not believe this property should be removed from that account.
General public comment?
General public comment today, I want to, the reason why I'm asking earlier is, LAPD, it is under the jurisdiction of this council, and LAPD officer is under the jurisdiction of this council. So I can, without any doubt, speak LAPD officer with my general comments, because it is under the jurisdiction of the LAPD, therefore under the jurisdiction of the city. So I am here to support the LAPD under the salary, because I have heard hotel workers getting 20% increase. I have heard, a fast food restaurant worker getting 25% increase. But last year, LAPD got 8% increase, and I do not believe that's equal. I believe that LAPD should receive equivalent of 20%, 25%, the equal as those hotel worker and the fast food restaurant worker.
Speaker, your time has expired.
I'm top Priya hater from Korea.
Before
You
the next
bitches
speaker begins,
better
I'm going to
recognize.
call a few more names. Adam, Palermo, Amy Montes,
Man, we said
August Welch,
Donald Harlan. I
Benjamin
don't see him.
Kay, Bumblebee, Carlos
Who's
Magana,
Bumblebee?
Christina Johnson.
Who's Bumblebee?
And before we begin, for everybody who's hissing,
You mean you
again,
got a fucking transformer?
give us views, and this is your
Fucking Bumblebee, guys.
But I would
He's
ask
there.
that you please be respectful to the person at the podium, regardless of their views.
Shout
We
out
will
to
have an opportunity
Bumblebee.
to address it.
We are autonomous robotic organisms from the planet
I just
Cybertron.
want to make that
Which
for
item
the
would
record.
you like to speak to?
1, 25, and general public comment.
Okay. So
I don't know where Optimus is at.
items and 1 minute for general public
We'll
comment.
find him.
Please begin with the items.
All right, so we all know that the D
let
in
this
bid
work.
is for displacement, as is spelled out in automating
Found
benefit
him.
from the Stop LAP. Spying Coalition business improvement districts are nothing more than fronts for fascism. Now, bids make
use of LAPD relationships to localize and narrow the focus of policing against individuals in Africatown. They will prey on anyone that dares to stand up against the pig power structure and the many ways it infiltrates our community. Now, while bids appear to be public entities, they are in fact privately run. Bids help expand the reach of LAPD's architecture of surveillance, and they embed policing even deeper in the property interests of developers, businesses, and landlords. Bids hire private security that double as a personal police force for local property owners as well as an auxiliary police force for the LAPD. We've already seen how the new metro line has led to an influx of pigs in our community. And voting to establish this bid is one of the last strongholds of black people in Los Angeles is auctioning off our hoods to a avaricious businessman, the demagogic politician, and the racist pig cop. Now, item 25. It's not lost on the public that this body wanted to address what it claims was an immediate need to financially support former IOF and U.S. military to quote-unquote counter unfettered violence in Jewish communities. But that same sense of urgency mysteriously evaporates as a genocide plays out in front of our eyes in Gaza. Now, we recognize that you are still committed to putting city resources behind Zionist militias like Magan Am. You all want to gift money to war criminals, which is not out of the ordinary since you constantly do that with the LAPD. Now, Magan Am means the nation's shield, but what nation are they shielding? The genocidal state of Israel. They were an active participant at the Zionist attack at the UCLA Palestine Solidarity Encampment. They are violent vultures who claim that the sale of stolen land in Palestine that was signed off by the Adass Torah synagogue had nothing to do with the protests they helped brutally suppress. Huey P. Newton once said that Israel was created by Western imperialism and is maintained by Western firepower, and here in Los Angeles, this council continues to fuel those fascist flames. Moving on to my public comment. Now, I watched yesterday as Kevin De Leon called Najee Ali our city's greatest warrior of justice. The same Najee Ali who had a video leak out of him physically abusing his wife last July. The same Najee Ali who's been arrested for rape 3 times and was pushed out of the National Action Network for beating his wife. The same Najee Ali who admitted in court to choking a woman during sex, intimidating her and harassing her, leading to that woman getting a restraining order against him. The same Najee Ali who told Dear Hamid Khan that he hoped that he wouldn't blow up the police commission meeting shortly after blaming the widower of Rodell Jones for her death instead of the LAPD. That's who you praised yesterday. That's who you praised yesterday, Monica Rodriguez. That's who curated that presentation you showed so much love to, Nithya. One of the people mentioned yesterday was Muhammad Ali. And for the record, in 1974, Muhammad Ali visited a Palestinian refugee camp in Lebanon and said that the United States is the stronghold of Zionism and imperialism. I declare support for the Palestinian struggle to liberate their homeland and oust the Zionist invaders. So if you want to honor Muslim Americans, then you should stand on the side of justice. You should be standing against genocide.
Your time has expired.
Sniff 5 grams of Addy. He's on that raw. He up on that raw, son. Oh, we got a Laker fan.
Good morning.
That's not a Laker. That says LAPD or something. What does his shirt say?
Yes, Richie Sergenko, items 1, 25, in general public.
Maybe it is a Laker shirt.
So you have
no,
2 minutes for the
it looks like it
items
says
and 1
something
minute for general
different.
public comment.
Can you guys
Please
tell?
begin with the items.
Well, it's so good to see all of you. It's been a while. I'm off diversion now, so I'm going to be in here. You know, it's unfortunate. I was hoping Katie was going to be in the room. Everyone just looking down at their phone. No big deal, but we'll talk about it anyways. It's good that this item 25 was pulled off the agenda, but the people will be following.
Looks like LAPD.
And the pressure will stay on. We need to reject that funding, for Zionist militia groups like Magan Am. And City Council needs to stop lying about what happened that day. Just like what happened at UCLA, it was the Zionists that attacked the protesters. And you all have more concern for the people that were selling stolen Palestinian land than the hundreds of UCLA students that were attacked by Zionists on campus. City Council continues to fuel the flames. It's been a while since I've done public comment. Damn.
It's been a while since you spoke.
City Council continues to fuel the flames of imperialism and fascism right here in Los Angeles. Fuck LAPD, fuck the IDF, and free Palestine.
Yeah, it's just another communist living in our country who probably thinks they're American and they're not. They were just born here.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Yes, August Willage speaking to item 25.
Nothing about all the destruction done by
In short,
his friends over
I just
here.
want to remind everybody what a constitutional crisis it would create if you guys gave funds to IDF soldiers. That's literally foreign soldiers on American soil, and if they attack student protesters, if they attack our friends, we have a constitutional right to use up to lethal force to stop them. Foreign troops on American soil, not okay.
Well, get going. How come, what happened to the word divest? Every single one would say the word divest.
Again,
I guess it's not in the script anymore.
So the gentleman who's shouting out right now.
This is your first and second warning to the gentleman
First
shouting
and
out
second?
in the black T-shirt with small white writing.
How does that work? First and
the
second warning.
left-hand side of the council chambers from our
How does that
perspective.
work?
So, good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the
That's
items
2.
you'd like
I
to
got you
speak
for
to.
2 weeks, Bender.
Christina Johnson. I would like to make public comment and speak on 25.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
First, I'd like to say if you could please look at your constituents when we were talking to you. I'm an anti-Zionist
Of course
Jew
you're
here
their
with the
their
Members
voters.
for Palestine and Jewish Voices for
Told
Peace.
you.
We strongly oppose the now $76 million in funding to armed security for wealthy West LA neighborhoods, when we should be prioritizing safe and stable housing to protect our unhoused neighbors from Gavin Newsom's inhumane executive order that further criminalizes homelessness, giving law enforcement the green light to sweep encampments. But where are they to go?
To your house.
LAPD's 2024 and 2025 budget is $3.37 billion, while the budget for housing is $231 million, a 31% decrease in funding. Why does the city need to give additional resources to private security who aren't subject to the same oversight and accountability as city police? We all deserve safety. Maganem Security, I have 1 more minute.
General public comment.
Thank you. Maganem Security is not the answer, and shame on you for weaponizing anti-Semitism to push white supremacist agendas that make the streets of LA unsafe for the rest of us. Ceasefire now and stop spending our money
So
on
the
racist
Jewish
shit.
people are now skinheads? Did I get that right? Did I get that right? They're white supremacists now? So Jews went from being hated by skinheads in the Klan. Again, if a Klan walked in the room and saw everybody, they'd kill the Jew before the black man, before the Latino man, or anything else.
General public comment. Please begin with the item.
Thank you. My name
Hysterical.
is Benjamin. I'm a graduate student in art history.
I'm a
and
graduate.
Studies at UCLA, an organizer with Jewish Voice for Peace, a member of UAW 4811,
And a member of
Jewish
Harris
youth
for
educator.
Boys for
I'm here
Harris, or
today rooted in the
Homos for
values of
Hamas, or
justice, equality, and dignity for all people. I'm here today because I believe that everyone from Pico Robertson to Palestine deserves access to safety and community. While I understand the motion to fund armed private security forces whose extremist views have been well documented has been withdrawn, we must reckon with how increases in militarized policing
Hi,
contribute
buddy,
to an
where's that going
authoritarian
now?
political culture at the expense of our civic rights, the health and well-being of our communities, and our democracy. Anti-Semitism is a real and pressing issue, one that I and my peers oppose as part of our organizing for social justice. However, the use of anti-Semitism to denigrate the actions of those of us who stand up for justice and to justify more guns on our streets
justice.
wielded
Justice
by
warrior.
people who espouse and enact on supremacist
General public comment.
Thank you.
The
Who
social
espouse
justice
and
warrior.
act on supremacist views not only does nothing to keep Jews and others in our community safe, but also makes it harder for those of us seeking to address anti-Semitism to do so in a manner that respects the rights of all. We need resources to go to the social services that truly make our communities safe: housing, healthcare, food, education. We need our spaces for Jewish communal gathering to not be desecrated by discriminatory real estate fairs that promote ethnic cleansing in historic Palestine. We need all LA institutions to end their complicity in Israeli occupation and apartheid. We need council members Yaroslavsky and Blumenfield to account for this initiative that endangers all of us. Free Palestine.
Yeah. Smoke. Thank you, social justice warrior. The great white hope, everybody. And remember, he's a graduate student, liberal arts at UCLA. So that demands respect.
Yeah, my name is Bumblebee, and I'm here to speak for general comment and item 25.
Bumblebee! The Transformers here, everybody.
All right. I'd like to start by saying I'm happy that the item got pulled, and I'm happy that that means that at most Magam will receive $1.5 million less than it would have had the council pushed it through with this motion.
He's more like
that
Mosquito.
Being said, I don't think they should receive even the $500,000 to which they're eligible under the grant program. I think it would be irresponsible to fund a group of people who violently attacked members of our community at UCLA. As an incoming UCLA graduate student, I fear for my safety.
Good.
Because I, for no reason other than the fact that I don't want to see mass murder, right? My desire to see the end of US and LA complicity in genocide makes me feel unsafe in this city.
Mm-hmm.
For general comment,
So you can always leave. We'd
there are
be glad
empty
if you would.
chairs and council members looking down at their phones. I have seen council members without looking up once during public comment. I would like to propose that this council consider a resolution that would tie councilor pay to their attention during public comment. I cede the rest of my time. Fuck it, LAPD, free Palestine.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert, class.
That's Bumblebee, everybody. I should take him seriously because his name is Bumblebee.
All right, this is the third warning from Mr. Sachenko-Husser. We should proceed, Mr. City Attorney.
Are you sure that's
Yes,
third?
so he is eligible for removal pursuant to Rule 7 and Rule 12.
As the chair of this meeting, I'm invoking the removal of Mr. Sachenko.
Get your ass up out of
Mr.
here.
Reedy, this is your first and only formal warning.
Fuck up
Please
outta
do not
here,
disrupt
bro.
This meeting. We have a member of the public who would like to speak on the items.
No.
Mr. Reedy,
Second
you're still
warning,
disrupting
we'll
this meeting.
excuse the gentleman in the back.
Let's get it. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. What you say?
Good morning, speaker. If you
The
could
road,
please
Jack.
the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
My name is Adam Palermo. I signed up to speak on item number 25 and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
Okay. First of all, I'm happy that item 25 was withdrawn. But the premise of what it was signed for in the first place, as the premise to protect houses
There's
of
Mr.
worship,
Herman.
is a false narrative. Nobody was there to protest Judaism. Nobody was there to protest congregations at a synagogue. What was going on there was a violation of international law and a war crime. And we were there to protest that and holding Jewish identity hostage to put the facade of it being a synagogue. They desecrated that space. It's no longer a holy space. What we should be using our city resources for is investigating that synagogue and the people that organized it for participating in international war crimes on U.S. soil here in our city, and investigating Karen Bass for allowing that to happen under her supervision here in Los Angeles. And we should be investigating Magan Am.
General public comment.
He's on the calendar for Soy Boys.
Am as being composed
He's on the
of
cover.
foreign ex-IDF soldiers who pose a threat to U.S. citizens as well as Jews here in L.A. that are anti-Israel, anti-Zionist. You guys are not trying to defend Judaism. I've seen people that are Jewish on our side at UCLA being assaulted by Zionists. I've seen people at Pico Robinson that are Jewish being assaulted by Zionists. You're not protecting Jews. You're choosing which side you're protecting with that money. I want to say free Palestine and fuck Kevin De Leon. I yield my time.
Is Kevin even there? I don't even see him. Can't see him in his seat. Probably not there.
Before the next speaker begins, I'm
That
going
Spindler?
to call a few
Spindler
more
just
names.
walked in. Look at him. He's dancing.
Ken E., Leah J., Lydia Ponce, Nati Casanova, Young, Adam Smith, and Akil Gopal.
I think Herman
Good morning, Speaker.
signed up in Mr. Harlan, Cat. You're still here.
Items you'd like to speak to?
My name is Amy Montes. The item I want to speak on is 25 and public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
The city council is shameful. Most of you aren't even listening to what we're saying. Need I remind you that we're your constituents? We vote you in. The city of LA does not approve of this insidious funding. Shame on the city council for even introducing this motion, and shame on Newsom for funding it. These ex-IRF soldiers will end up killing Angelinos. Additionally, stop lying about what happened outside that synagogue. Nobody was there to attack religious practice or Jewish people. People were there in protest of land theft, and violence came from Zionists and police. Lastly, the city council needs to pass a ceasefire resolution. Thank you.
There you go. Well, you're the one who voted him in. Now you're mad at him, huh? Come here. I'll lick those liberal tears right off your cheek.
25. Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Tastes
I'm
like
just
cherry.
gonna make some points. I'm not going to make a big, long speech. But anyway, on the issue of Yaroslavsky, I want to say that to begin with, they make claims that there's anti-Semitism going on. But I'm here to say that she's not even a Jew, and she's not a Semitic. Yaroslavsky,
Hasidic.
the ending of the name Ski means the son of Yaroslav. In Yaroslav, you see the name Slav means Slavic, and Yaro is the name of a and Yaro.
So please hold his time.
And Yaro,
so hold on,
is,
Speaker. We're holding your time. So members of the public, I know you've heard me say this multiple times
Cats,
during this meeting.
Cat,
but
that's
please
how
be respectful
the
to other
Democrats talk
speakers
to each other
regardless of
now.
their viewpoint.
Like,
We
I
need
see
to
you.
Give them time to speak.
I see you.
Every time we pause to give warnings and to let people know that you're disrupting
That's their-
this meeting, it takes away time for potential
That's their
speakers
flag.
in the future. So
The mask.
Please be respectful to the speakers while they're at the podium. Sorry, sir. Go ahead.
Gray shirt, black mask, first warning.
Go ahead. Restart his time. Or not restart. Sorry. Start his time again.
Okay, and the first part of Yaro belongs to the name of a pagan Slavic god, Yarilo. Okay, so Yaroslav means the pagan god Yarilo, Yaroslav, the Slav.
And speaker, your general
means the
public
son
has
of.
expired. Comment has expired. So next speaker.
What are you even talking about, fucking retard?
Good morning. So,
Oh, you can't be playing that music. You finna give me the copyright, girl.
okay, and before you begin, I'm going to ask
Hey,
you to
blah, 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 blah.
volume on
Hey,
your
don't be
phone.
playing that music, girl.
Opportunity
Better
to
quit
speak
playing.
to the body, not to play an audio.
Better stop it, girl, with that music. Blah, 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 blah.
Nobody says it better than Macklemore, Hens Hall. Because right now, this is Hens Hall.
Oh, Macklemore. Blah, 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 blah.
I want to talk about general public comment and 25. Lydia Ponce, Venice, California. I'm a grandma, an indigenous grandma. And you know what? It is deplorable, the decisions that you're making on lies. Lies. Children have been massacred. You all have blood on your hands.
This is your last warning. Please do not play audio into the microphone. This is your opportunity to speak to the body, not to play music or a video.
It's free speech. It's my free speech.
So, again, this is your speech, not playing of the audio during public comment. So you've been warned multiple times.
Are your ears bleeding? Do you have your limbs? Do you have your heart beating?
Speaker,
Your time is forfeited. Thank you so
Typical
much.
liberal Democrat.
Please leave the podium.
Liberal Democrat, everybody.
Speaker, please vacate the podium so we can move on to the next
Typical
speaker.
liberal
Again, we have a lot of
Democrat.
people here who would
Completely
like to
insane.
provide public comment.
Mentally ill. Straight mental illness, everybody.
Speaker, you just at the podium with the blue hair. This is your first and only formal warning. Please do not disrupt this meeting.
Of course you're crazy. Of course you are.
Speakers,
we don't
need
think
to move
we
on
know.
with the next speaker.
Confirmed.
Okay, good morning. If you could please remind
Mental
us of the
illness,
names
everybody.
and
Mental
items
illness.
you'd like to speak
Get
to.
help.
Hi, I'm Nati Casanova. I live in CD14. I'm not sure where Kevin DeLeon is, Councilmember DeLeon. But I'm here to speak on all items and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead with the items first.
Yeah, I understand that you've moved this motion, this item 25, to special, and it's just basically Gavin Newsom is bailing you guys out on this because obviously the people of LA don't want that money to go to a Zionist militia.
You voted for him.
And there is, there is going to be a lot of scrutiny on any money that goes from state funds to this group because it is discriminatory. It discriminates on people. If they're getting $500,000 from this grant, then Jewish Voice for Peace should get $500,000. Other Jewish organizations in Los Angeles or in the state in general should be also getting the same amount of money. I just have to say, I think it's awful. Like yesterday, you guys are up here talking about Muslim Heritage Month, performative allyship, and yet you were all supporting this Zionist motion to give, it's a racist motion to just give money to people who are actually committing the violence. These are nonviolent protests. We're protesting violence.
So, Speaker, you've exhausted your minute on this item. You can continue during general.
Yeah,
If you'd
mostly
like to talk
peaceful,
about other items,
right?
Please move on for now.
I just personally would like to say, also, I think it's, I'm part of the animal rights groups that come up here a lot. We worked on the rodeo ban last year, which, by the way, we're still waiting for that to be passed. I tried to say on the phone.
Speaker, this isn't on the agenda. General public. Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
We'd like to get that passed, right? By the way, violent crime is still happening around the rodeo when it's happening at the crypto arena. I'll give you guys new research on that. But I have worked with Bob. I've worked with your Councilmember Blumenfield. Excuse me. I've worked with your office with the coalition for this rodeo ban. I know that you have compassion for other non-human animals. It's just disheartening to me that you would put forward a motion like this that is so discriminatory. It's predicated on the oppression and apartheid of indigenous people in the region, and it is painful to me to see as another animal lover and animal rights activist to see people that claim to care about other sentient beings and do a lot of work for them to not care at all about people in Palestine facing a genocide and ethnic cleansing. It is ethically inconsistent. It is selective empathy, and it's not right. Please, also pass a ceasefire resolution in Los Angeles. We need that.
You know it's also not right? Being in your mid to late 40s and having that kind of hairdo and dressing like that. We don't need to see your belly, really. We don't. Shout out to her belly.
Motherfuckers with guts like that ain't off the cheeseburgers. Motherfuckers with guts like that definitely are on the cheeseburgers, dog.
Alright, so here I have a video of them shooting fireworks at us at UCLA. Here I have 1,000 cops at UCLA. Why the fuck do we need more cops here? Or any militias? Here's a group of Zionists harassing us at UCLA. And everybody look at them. Look at him right now. Look at them over there. Look at them. They're not listening. You know why? Because they don't give a fuck about the people. You don't give a fuck about the people. Bro, you're black. How are you not?
Speaker, this is not on the agenda. I'm going to ask that you stick to the agenda item, or you can move to general public comment if you'd like.
Latin people in here, Asian people in here, indigenous, and you guys are for pro-colonialism? For real?
Straight fuck those white people, right?
Y'all sellouts. And we all know it. I just showed you videos of fireworks, Zionists harassing us, and y'all don't give a fuck about that. That's
right.
Crazy.
That's right.
You want to spend $2 million to bring the IDF here? You guys, do you see the future right here? This is the future, and y'all seeing it? We're about to take over all this shit, y'all.
General public comment.
Public comment. Let's say this. Realize what you guys are supporting. The whole world is against this shit. The whole world. ICJ, Doctors Without Borders, Amnesty, everybody. You should be ashamed of yourselves. We're watching kids getting bombed. And you guys want to look down your phones and talk? I mean, I get the white people. Y'all gonna do what you're gonna do.
Are you talking about the kids that killed on the soccer field by the rocket?
Your ancestors.
Is that the kid you're talking
For
about?
real? I thought y'all fought for civil rights. I thought y'all fought for real shit, because right now you're supporting apartheid. Wake the fuck up. Gen Z, wake the fuck up. There's always going to be power in the people, and we'll see your faces. We have videos, we have posts. We're going to know your faces forever. Your kids, we're always going to know. So power of the people, fuck white supremacy.
I love it. What a fucking moron.
Before the next speaker begins, I'm going to call a few more names. Alice Pablisco, America Macias, Analeta E, Anne Marie Molina, Benjamin J, Beth Clark, Bill Ingram, Brenda Lee C, and Chandler.
Isn't Bill Ingram like a
Good morning.
famous
If you could
person?
Please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Hi, my name is Eric Shu. I'd like to speak about item 25 and general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
Well, first of all, I'd like to let you know that I work at the public library, Little Tokyo Branch Library. We're one of the few places that provide resources for the unhoused.
That's why
I'm honored
kids
to
can't
work
go to
down
the
the
library anymore. Thanks to people
I'm
like
there to
you.
help people. We're one of the few services
Now it's
that
overrun by homeless.
provide, you know, for people who have nothing. But it's really not enough. I see people dying there, overdosing in the bathroom.
Of course.
And all I do is shelve the books. But I just want to say that I think that
fucking
LA is a
joke.
really great city. There's a lot of great people here who care about people around the world, especially in Palestine right now. And we
Just
don't
go to
need
Palestine and help
money
them.
going allocated to private
I'd be willing to pay
security firms.
to have the plane ticket to drop you off
That
in
money should be
Palestine,
going
sir, so
to
you can go help out.
Resources for the mentally unwell.
General public comment.
Can work in a library in Palestine. Should be light work.
We need to rehabilitate our communities. We need mental wellness. We
Just
need
a million
medicine.
Qurans on the
We need
shelf.
art. We need education.
Nothing else.
We need music. And we need philosophy. And we need more love in this
Maybe
room.
one like
And I know inside of you,
French
you're
for
fighting to
dummies.
understand, and you want to care about your fellow man.
Something.
Thank you.
Arabic for idiots, kind of little book for you.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to
All
speak
these
to.
people should get together
I
and
signed up
start a
under
new
Leah
group
J,
called the
and I'd like to
Unfuckables.
speak to item 25 and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general.
They could
Please
be
go
like
ahead with
the
item.
X-Men.
My name is Leah. I'm a resident of Council District 10, a constituent of Councilmember Hutt.
Each one more gross than the next.
I'm also a graduate student at UCLA and a member of UAW 4811. Katie Yaroslavsky is pushing a disturbing and false narrative.
Y'all liberals are ugly as
Wartime
fuck.
sale
Just
of
saying.
stolen land is anti-Semitism, and she does not speak for
Is
all
there
of
any
you.
hot liberal women? I don't think so.
The motion was withdrawn, and I'm happy it was withdrawn.
Certainly,
but it was
as soon as
withdrawn
they
only
open their
because
mouth,
the
they're
money
not.
to fund private
Smoke.
security for Zionist Jewish institutions is now coming from Newsom. $76 million to fund policing and guns on our streets, while we're being told there isn't enough money for housing and education.
Better than
Support for this
the
funding,
life,
as Councilmember Yaroslavsky has communicated.
You haven't even heard the
only
best two yet. They're right there.
only communicates to your constituents that opposition to genocide should be met with violent repression. Communicates that you think that's right.
Right,
This
Scarlett?
funding only emboldens genocide supporters who have already received this city's blessing for violent attacks in the
That's
name
an
of
insult
religion
to
at
X-Men.
UCLA
Sorry,
and
Remy.
Peter Robertson. I've seen
Sorry,
Magen
Wolf.
Am and other
Wolverine.
armed security forces show up to protest to harass and attack
Deadpool.
Jews such as myself and my friends.
But
standing
Deadpool
in
wasn't an
solidarity with
X-Men, right? He wasn't.
This money for
That was
private
the whole
security
thing, I
will
guess,
help
right?
build an armed Zionist militia in Los Angeles. And this is really terrifying to me. So many of us are here today
General public comment. Go ahead.
because
I do
we
like the
recognize
Deadpool
how
movies.
dangerous it is
They're
to
pretty
fund
funny.
a private armed militia for our city and our community. Shame on Katie Yaroslavsky. You do not speak for Los Angeles Jews.
Neither do you.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to?
Yeah, I like
Matias
that.
Kirana, all items.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
I'm going to speak first about this Lamert Park bid. These business improvement districts, as other speakers have kind of mentioned, they are an effort by private businesses to displace community members. Specifically, if we think about Lamert Park, Africatown, there is a significant history of organizing there to empower street vendors and unhoused people because they are often displaced and pushed out by brick and mortar shops and by gentrifiers that wish to make Lamert a not black neighborhood, right? Primarily a white neighborhood. And as we talk about displacement, we have
White
to
devils.
talk about the displacement that goes on here in LA and bids, how they've kind of collaborated on that.
You have a
especially
chance
when
to
we think
fix
about
it up
Skid
right
Row,
now instead of
right?
sitting
And the
here
Safer
talking.
Cities initiative that took place over there.
Why don't
and
you
how
cleaning
bids
it
were
up
kind of weaponized
yourself?
to push people out in that same way. But displacement is something this city gets down with. Pushing unhoused people out is something this city gets down with. And that is also why the city's down with Zionism in a lot of ways, right? And I'm so glad Councilmember Blumenfeld walked in for this part, because I think we also have to talk about item number 25, which was pulled. And a lot of folks have brought up that the city's been silent on a ceasefire on the genocide going down in Palestine. But what a lot of people haven't brought up is how painfully embarrassing this must be for you, Bob Blumenfeld, and for Katie Yaroslavsky, who's not even in the room. Because let's be clear, you manufactured a crisis. You relied on the conflation of anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism. You're laughing because people witnessed at that protest, a protest against a land sale at Pico and Robertson, that pro-Palestinians were brutalized. And yet you had the gall to introduce a motion with Yaroslavsky to say that this was somehow a threat to Jewish safety. Thank God for the Jewish voices in the room denouncing that lie, right? Because we know now, after a pathetic attempt 6 days after the fact to water down that motion, to now make it all houses of worship, right? And to sneak this money through, doubling it through. You still have to give it up because the lie no longer works, because of organizing by these young folks in the room.
So, Speaker, you've exhausted your 1 minute on item 25. You can continue during general, but if you'd like to speak to another item, please switch now.
Okay, well, I don't see why you had to interrupt me with that. I could have kept speaking and it would have been general public comment, but I think you like to pipe up too. Yeah, just to say, you know, let's be clear. When we talk about Maganam, when we talk about Zionist forces in our cities, we're talking about an army that routinely kills children, perpetuates a genocide, and right now is deliberating the legitimacy of rape, sexual assault as a tactic. And that's who you want to bring here. That's who you want to deputize. And they're already being deputized, right? These Zionist vigilantes that are allowed to run rampant and brutalize young folks at UCLA, the police don't stop them. What you're doing now is giving them the city stamp of approval and some state funding. Yeah, and just to say, we're going to shut the shit down anytime it pops up, but I need to amplify time and time again. You're living in a false reality. No one believes your bullshit anymore. You're losing. We are winning. This is embarrassing for you. This is a person who introduced a motion that would criminalize pro-Palestinian flying, comparing it to tying a noose in front of a black family's home. You're despicable, Blumenfeld. Yaroslavsky, I don't know where the fuck you are, but you are too. I yield the rest of my time. Fuck you.
You sound angry, bro. Sounds big mad.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Mi nombre es América Macías y necesito un intérprete.
Okay, so
My name is América Macías.
which items would you like to speak to?
¿De qué asuntos desea hablar?
Estoy hablando un comentario general.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see revolution. You'll see what you will see, Hoosier, is a lot of what you saw during the George Floyd incidents. You're gonna see that in November if the Democrats lose. Mark my words.
We will pause your time.
Dems lose.
So go ahead.
Tiene un minuto, señora.
Sí, vengo a hablar
Yeah,
sobre
that's what you're gonna see.
me
Travel guy, let's go.
My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle.
Let's get it, Fitty Balls.
Impressive.
Sheesh. Let's go.
Estoy con Nila y tienen.
Didn't get picked for jury duty? Shit, yeah, it's a good day.
I was laid off
F
at
jury
work,
duty.
and
Stuff
it's been
sucks.
1 month that I haven't been working, so I owe 1 month of my rent. So I come here to get some help with the funding. Continúa.
Tengo una muchacha de 19 años que es especial y pues las rentas ahorita están altas.
And I have a daughter that is 19 years old, and she has special needs, and the rent is so high now.
Y es por eso que pido pues que nos ayuden a que les den ese dinero para que apoyen tanto como a mí como a otras personas para su renta.
So that's why I came here to get
Telling you,
some
Jonathan.
help. If you can give us some money to not only to help me, but also other people, other families that are in the same situation that I am.
Y ahorita ya estoy empezando a trabajar de nuevo, pero de todos modos tengo
Good cue ball.
y tengo una mamá.
Get fucking Venezuela up in this joint real quick, like.
But I still owe a whole month of rent, and I have a mother.
Damn, that shit was loud. Thank you again, travel guy. That's a big ass dono. Let's go. Happy Wednesday.
So my mother is 84 years old, and as I said before, my daughter has special needs, and she's 19. So it's just the three of us. So that's why I'm asking if you can approve this funding.
Eso es todo, gracias.
That's all. Thank you.
And Speaker, before you leave the podium, if you don't mind, which district do you live in?
¿En qué distrito vive, señora?
Fucking Brock.
¿En qué distrito vive? ¿De qué distrito es usted?
Es aquí del este de Los Ángeles.
Fucking Brock.
No saben, ¿cómo?
14.
Oh, 14.
Thank you. Okay.
Muchas gracias.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. My name is Anne Marie Molina. I'm a housing advocate. I work at ELAC, a nonprofit in Boyle Heights. I'm here to
Which items would you like to speak to?
It's a public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
We are very grateful for the grant that we were awarded last June of 2023. We have still not received the funds. And with all the gratitude behind being granted that grant, we don't have it to actually provide to our tenants. I don't have to tell you that it's more expensive for the city, for the state to help homeless people on the street rather than keeping people in their homes and preventing them from being displaced. I'm shaking, I'm nervous, my stomach's in knots. I have 2 tenants that I'm working with, and I just wanted to share very quickly. Yahaira is a single mother with a special needs son with autism. She is on a family leave. Her EDD has not been approved. She was already past due on rent. She would be the perfect candidate for these funds to keep her housed and her son. Her mother was her caretaker for her son. Her mother had back surgery. Please let me say it. She had back surgery. She had a lump in her throat. She had 2 surgeries.
Working hard, Nate.
She would be a great candidate.
Speaker,
the
your
only
time
way.
has expired. I'm sorry.
Please help me keep
Rat
them
on the
housed.
wheel.
Next speaker.
She got to do extra laps to stay alive here, since it's so expensive across the board.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Good morning. I'm Beth Clark. I'm speaking on 25 and public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with
There goes Mr. Herman. When's he going to get to
First,
talk?
I don't understand how Dawson and Yaroslavsky were laughing and talking while we were talking about Palestinian children and families being slaughtered. You find this funny? Shame on you. I am a teacher and a mother. I don't understand how the
And a liberal.
fascist motion, Yaroslavsky and Blumenfield, had gained traction in the first place. It's unfathomable to me that you wish to suppress and criminalize freedom of speech. How you dehumanize our Palestinian and Arab brothers and sisters. Haven't we learned anything from our history? I don't understand how you wish to arm people who enthusiastically defend the brutality of countless children maimed and killed in Gaza, and who are ideologically committed to the genocide of Gaza. Here in our own backyards at UCLA, the same Zionists you wanted to fund assaulted dozens of protesters. They attempted to rape our children. They put many in the hospital with stab wounds and head injuries.
Attempted to
Funding
rape
should
them.
be for housing our communities, feeding our children, and the emotional needs of our children. We are not anti-Semitic. We are anti-genocide. Supporting the suppression of our voices, you are demonstrating that you are anti-Palestinian, anti-Arab, and anti-humanitarian. Free Palestine.
Free Alex Stein. Free Alex Stein.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Chandler, and item 25 in general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
The council members attempting to fund private security to target peaceful demonstrators still refuse to acknowledge what they are protecting. Israeli real estate companies using community synagogues to promote apartheid and ethnic cleansing while profiting off sales of properties in occupied Palestine. Yaroslavsky and Blumenfield identified Magen Am, an NRA-backed firm staffed by former Israeli soldiers and instructors with documented far-right ideologies, as one of the firms they plan to fund, despite ample reporting and evidence of their extremist views. The International Court of Justice recently ruled that Israel's occupation is illegal and must immediately end with reparations paid to all displaced Palestinians. It violates both human decency and international law to continue hosting these land sale events. It is outrageous that our city council members want to hire armed guards to prevent the community from protesting land theft. Land theft! Land theft, ethnic cleansing, and apartheid are not Jewish values. Anti-Zionists seek a world in which Palestinians, Jews, and all people are safe and free. Yaroslavsky and Blumenfield attempted to legislate permission for our movement to end apartheid, ethnic cleansing, and land theft to be met with increased violence and repression. As anti-Zionist Jews speaking out against Israel's genocidal actions, we are experiencing increased discrimination, intimidation, and violence. Funding armed private security forces does nothing to protect us. In fact, it only emboldens violent pro-Israel counter-protesters who evidence shows already have the blessing from law enforcement to attack us with impunity, as we saw at UCLA and again at Pico Robertson. Yaroslavsky and Blumenfield do not speak for all Jews.
Can I do this,
Refuse to meet with all Jewish Angelinos seeking meetings, and as evidence shows, we do not seek
Speaker,
to
your time
protect
has expired.
all of us either.
Next speaker.
Oh my God, get out of here. Give me a fucking headache. Need a goddamn Aleve now or a Motrin.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
My name is Annaletta, and I'd like to speak to item number 25 in general.
Wait, huh?
Okay, you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
Okay. In the motion that the state passed this week, there is a provision under Section 3 in which nonprofits cannot employ a security company who has had administrative action taken against them. So that means that this council still has the authority to take administrative action against these extremist groups like Magen Am, these groups that have shown extremist views and are known
I think it's the
domestic
first one,
terrorist
Randy, not the latter.
and we could stop them. In addition to that, I also want to say for public comment that it says under the regulations for the way that the city council must conduct their meetings that all members have to be either seated or visibly present under some sort of teleconferencing. This is in Ralph v. Brown, and I'd like it to be stated that not all members are considered present by the current definition.
Before the next speaker, I'm going to call a few more names. Christina Fernandez, Elba Serrano, Eric Sue, Evan Houston, Fernando, Flor Alvarado, Jay Richardson, Jetfrey.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Bill Ingram, 25, and general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
I want to ask the council to agendize the ceasefire resolution. I don't know why that hasn't been agendized yet. I was at the Adas Torah Synagogue on June 23rd. I saw Zionists spit on people and tell women they hoped they would be raped. I was nauseous from inhaling a cloud of chemical spray, but fortunately I was not hit in the face with it like one young Jewish person that I walked with to the protest. Someone lost 2 teeth because they were hit with a rock thrown by a supporter of Israel. All the violence I witnessed on Sunday, June 23rd, was instigated either by Zionists or by the police that they appeared to be colluding with, just like the UCLA attack on the student encampment, in which the police stood by for over 3 hours as a Zionist mob attacked the students with bats, chemical sprays, and rats that they released into the encampment. Council members Yaroslavsky and Blumenfield wanted us to reward the instigators of this violence in both situations with $2 million because apparently they are confused about who the real victims are. Some people don't feel safe, while Palestinians and their supporters are actually being assaulted and injured. The IDF is a racist, white supremacist organization, and the city council wanted us to give $2 million of our money to enlist their services.
Is he crying? He's about to cry.
Sit with that. I see the city council is slipping back into its default posture of racism that you became so famous for in 2022. And if anything is making the Jewish community feel unsafe, it's the Zionist commitment to violence.
Lispy Lenny, everybody. Shout out to Lispy Lenny. Whoop, she's taking off her face gear.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind
now you're
us
going to
of
catch
name
the...
you signed up under and the items you'd like
What
to
happened there? Why'd you take the mask off? You're going to die now.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
My husband and I are Los Angeles residents, active voters and taxpayers. Under no circumstances would we be aligned to our city, state, or federal tax dollars going to fund militias or ideologically driven security services to patrol our streets. The ICJ has released an opinion since we were here a few weeks ago to discuss the issue in regards to illegal Israeli settlements.
They
to
do,
be clear,
tribe.
The protesters who showed up at places of worship last month were protesting the illegal land sales being held there. Anglo-only land sales are in violation of our civil rights laws. Illegal settlements in occupied Palestine are in violation of international law. What this city council should be discussing is divesting from Israel's genocide and shutting down illegal real estate sales in our city. Instead, you are discussing funding militias to protect the
in
illegal
London,
real
huh?
estate
Let me take a look on this.
It is such
live.
It is such a giant step toward tyranny. We've all seen security services and police provide less safety in these situations. Law enforcement already intermingles with and consults with these militias. They proudly posted about it while brutally clearing the UCLA student encampment. Law enforcement consistently stands back while anti-genocide protesters are harassed and violently assaulted by counter-protesting mobs. We don't want even more of our tax dollars to be weaponized against us. We refuse to trade our real freedom for fake safety. Stop brutalizing your constituents. Free, free Palestine. Free Palestine.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
I'd like to speak on 25 and general public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
My name is Miguel Kamnitzer, and I'm here with
All right, so I have it up. They are a lot of
For
people.
several months, I've been hearing a lot from my elected leaders about what Jews like me need to feel safe. 40,000 Palestinians have been murdered by the Israeli military.
Did you
Millions
count 'em?
displaced from their homes.
Oh, Hamas
Countless
told you.
tortured in
Got
Israeli
it.
prisons. But
Got
you wish
it.
to brush that all aside and instead talk of how protesting a genocide makes some Jews in your districts feel uncomfortable. You suggest spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in public funds to hire former Israeli soldiers trained by the same military that is currently slaughtering Palestinians. Black, brown, queer,
Happening in
poor,
London right now,
unhoused
guys.
Angelenos are all disproportionately targeted for violence when the city increases policing and surveillance in the name of quote-unquote safety. You're eager to make a majority of the city less safe, just so a few Zionists can feel a bit more comfortable attending exclusionary Israeli real estate events that discriminate against our people, promote apartheid and ethnic cleansing.
There's one arrest.
Yaroslavsky and Blumenfield's
General
motion
arrested him.
is dangerous and irresponsible. You must be held accountable for your terrible judgment and failed leadership. Our leaders should be spending their energies figuring out how to prohibit these grotesque celebrations of land theft from setting up shop in our communities, not funding armed vigilantes to attack us. Jews of conscience know
There's
that
another
none of us are
arrest.
safe until all of us are safe. We know that none of us are free until Palestine is free. Free Palestine!
You know, they're talking to you about, selective empathy, but yet you never hear them talk about how it's bad that Israeli folks are dying.
Good afternoon.
Or Americans. There's 8 Americans that are still missing. Americans. So, yeah. Write that one down and remember it.
Sí. Vengo aquí a dar un comentario general sobre LA y Repair.
I want to make a general comment,
Voy a
public
dar un
comment.
breve testimonio.
I want to give a little witness, testimony.
A mi esposo le cortaron dedos del pie por gangrena.
Mr. Verdes, yeah, you're welcome. We'll go to London. I'm keeping an eye on the other.
Señora, se puede esperar un poquitito cuando habla un poquito y yo la traduzco, okay? My husband had gangrene in one toe on the feet and they cut his toe, so sí continúe, señora.
Entonces me retrasé con la renta porque no pudimos trabajar ni él ni yo por estarlo cuidando, la recuperación. Y el programa de alivio de renta me ayudó por unos meses.
Yeah, that doesn't matter, Randy.
So then
That never
we got
happened.
behind with our rent because I had to take care of him, and this program for mitigation for the rent. Continue.
Es muy importante.
People are pissed. The Brits are pissed right now, I'll tell you that.
Agradecida.
Oh, I just want to
Looks
say
like
that this
shit hit the
I'm
fan
really
yesterday in
grateful
Southport, and now it looks like it's happening in London. They're taking the UK back.
and I want to request that
Good to see.
continues to help us. To
It's
those
gonna
of
happen
us
here.
that in need of paying the rent. Okay,
You'll
and
see.
that's all. Thank you.
November. Be ready. Food, water, ammo, weed, of course.
Good afternoon. If you
Good
could please
afternoon.
remind
Now you
us
can
of the
defend
name you
yourself.
signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Yes, hi everybody. My name is Elba Serrano, and I'm doing just general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Thank you. I didn't know. It was
3
gonna be so
kids, I
busy
believe,
today.
were
Hope our
stabbed to
message
death,
doesn't
Mogul.
get lost. You did hear
By an
from a
immigrant
couple
there.
tenants that were here today. I'm here.
So
with
these
East
people
LA
have,
Community
the
Corporation.
uprising
We're a
is starting.
nonprofit.
They're tired of
We
being
received,
victimized
grant fundings
by
through the
illegal
Civil
aliens.
Right and Equity Department through a participatory
But this is now in
budgeting
London, which is
process.
not
And
next to
we were
Southport,
supposed
of
to receive
course.
it
and
last year, we were told in April.
So it's starting
that
to
we
spread,
won
in
this
a sense.
award. April of last year. In June, we were told that we start working on it, and then it is now July of, the next year.
Yeah,
and
3
we
little
were told that
girls,
it's not coming until
like
September.
6,
So
8,
I
and
would love
10
to
or
follow up
something.
over
3 little
email.
girls at
Let
a
me know
dance
who I can
studio.
speak to regarding how we can accelerate the process of getting
Sad,
this
man.
grant. It was participatory, so people voted for this grant for us to be able to get it, and they're asking us, where's the money, where's the rental assistance? So please, let me know who I can speak to in regards
Mike, these
to this.
people
and,
aren't American. They
I
were
thank you
just
for your
born here.
time.
That's why I say that. These people aren't American. They could care less. They're cockroaches. They're leeches. Better term. They're leeching off the country that either they were
Good
brought
afternoon.
to or
Please
even
remind
born
us
in.
of the name that you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak
They've
to.
come here to suck the resources
Good afternoon. My name
dry.
is Fernando. All items.
Okay, so you have 3
They're not
minutes
here
for
to
the items. Go
contribute.
ahead.
The ones that do contribute that
good
are
afternoon,
immigrants are
comrades, fellow
proud to be
Angelenos.
American.
My name is
There's
Fernando.
plenty of those too.
I wasn't going to mention it, but someone else just talked about
That's
it.
not these people.
So here it is. I was the one that got hit with the rock in the face. I had 2 of my teeth knocked out.
Who's clapping?
I had 2 of my teeth knocked out that day. And they need security? Imagine feeling so entitled and to have such impunity that you're willing to launch a rock at a person's face. Carrying on, my name is Fernando. I'm a 37-year-old lifelong Angelino, born and raised here in LA. I'm also a Marine Corps veteran. I served this country from 2006 to 2010.
What are you doing there?
A 7-month deployment to Fallujah, Iraq.
What are you doing over there? 37 at UCLA? What are you, chicken hawking the women?
I am here to condemn your wanting to allocate our money to ex-IOF soldier baby killers, and to correct this despicable anti-Semitic narrative that you continue to spew. Shame on Yaroslavsky for bringing it to the table and continuing to lie. On June 23rd, pro-Palestinian anti-Zionist demonstrators showed up to Pico Robertson to protest the wrongful sale of Palestinian land.
So, Speaker, you've used your 1 minute on this item. You
Well,
can continue during
demonstrators are
general
mad.
if you'd like, but you said all items. So if there's another item you'd like to speak to, please switch
While
down.
there, demonstrators are met with aggressive attacks, and your police department, the infamous LAPD, just stood around and watched it.
So we get taken to as general public
The
comment.
next day,
You have 1 minute for general.
next day, Genocide Joe, Gruesome Newsom, and Baby Killer Bass.
You voted for them. I know you did.
Narrative. They said demonstrators were
No
out
way
to
you voted for
interrupt
Trump.
religious
Don't lie.
services and promote anti-Semitism, but that's far from
Don't
true.
lie.
Once again, they were there to reject and denounce Zionism, and it is driving force behind the current genocide of our Palestinian brothers.
I'll be willing to bet.
Shame on you for trying to allocate our funds to fuel this terrorist regime. Zionism is a settler colonial ideology and must be dismantled. Lastly, if you have the slightest bit of humanity, you would help us call for a ceasefire by agendizing a resolution in Palestine and Gaza.
Maybe you get it together by the time.
Free Palestine!
There's a plant like a motherfucker. There's
If
a
you're done
straight
with your
plant
comment,
right
we need to
there.
move on to the next speaker. Next speaker?
That's no Marine that I know. No Marine would do that. Raise another flag in this country like that. I don't see it.
Before the next speaker,
I don't see it, man.
I'm going to call a few more names.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Speaker.
It's a
You
sign
could
of
please
disrespect.
remind us- All right, so I'm going to start calling out names here. The gentleman in the tan shirt on the right-hand side with the black hair, this is your first and only formal warning. In addition to that, the gentleman in the pink shirt.
Hopefully
wearing
they
the
stay in there
sergeant's
graffiti
headband,
everything.
This is your first and only
Thank
formal
you, Garrett.
warning. Please do not disrupt this meeting.
Before the next speaker,
Garrett
I'm
Lambert,
going to
let's
call
go.
a few more names. John McQueen, Javier Moro, Joe A., John Cramper, Julia Bear.
Then you can tell me how
Kevin,
peaceful they were. Oh, my
Leon,
girlfriend, she's
and
right there in
Lorna
the gray.
Paisley.
Just saw her right now.
Good afternoon.
She
You could
back
please
there.
remind us of the
My
names
lady's
signed
here,
up under
everybody.
the items you'd like
Yeah.
to speak to.
I got
a boner.
Necesito un intérprete.
And guys, I called dibs on it, so you ain't getting it.
Which items would you like to
I
speak
called
to?
shotgun. It's mine. You gotta wait.
Hola, sí, ¿de qué asunto desea hablar, señora?
What's going on? Did she
Buenas
just fart?
tardes. Mi nombre es Cristina Fernández.
My name is Cristina Fernández. ¿Y de qué asunto quiere hablar? ¿De qué punto en la agenda?
Comentario
What was that?
I want to make a public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. If you could pause every once in a while so our interpreters can do their
Pausa.
job, we'd appreciate it. We will hold your time.
Por
Go
supuesto,
ahead.
tiene 1 minuto y se puede hacer pequeñas pausas para que los intérpretes puedan traducirla y le vamos a parar el tiempo mientras que se traduce.
Sí. Soy una de las personas de las que fue afectada últimamente con la pandemia. Mi familia y yo, entonces hemos tenido necesidades de asistencia de renta.
Okay, so I'm one of the persons that whose family is being affected by the pandemic, and so we've had like some need, getting some help with paying our rent.
Estoy aquí en apoyo de Proyecto Pastoral.
So I'm here to support the pastoral project.
Hace un año, Proyecto Pastoral recibió notificaciones de fondos para el programa de asistencia de rentas.
So a year ago,
We're at
we got
Buckingham
a
Palace.
notification that we're going to receive some money to the program of supporting rents.
La propuesta de fondos de Proyecto Pastoral obtuvo el mayor número de votos, 380,
Notificamos en el resto a la comunidad de hace un año.
Jamie, I don't
So
know
a
what that
year
is.
ago, we received the majority of votes. That was 360 people voting in favor. So we notified our community about this grant that was awarded.
Nuestra comunidad todavía está en espera y cada día que pasa está siendo afectada.
And
Les
our
ped-
community is still on hold, waiting, and each day that goes by, we are being affected.
Les pedimos que precisen los contratos y el pago a nuestra organización.
So we are asking that please move the payment to our organization, move forward with these, and to help with the contracts.
También algo referente a mi persona. Yo hace un año, 3 meses fui homeless y no hubo quien ayudara a esta familia. Gracias.
And I want to say one personal thing. Like a year and a half, I became homeless, and nobody helped my family.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Evan Houston for agenda item 35 and general public comment.
You said agenda item 35?
35.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item 35 and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
Thank you. I'm here today to represent a tenant's experience of habitability code violations in our building being accepted into REAP. In October 2022, primary renovation work began in our building without a tenant habitability plan. Our homes were turned into construction sites with exposed holes in the walls, our furniture and floors covered by dust and debris, with little to no mitigation to protect tenants' health or personal belongings. Although the work was eventually shut down by LAHD inspectors, the holes and debris remained for months afterwards. We did not receive a REAP hearing until February of this year, and were not officially accepted into REAP until April. That's over a year that we tenants have been in a state of limbo, and our homes in various states of disrepair. To this day, the tenants have not received any formal notice of primary renovation work, or a THP that is required by the city. As of today, the work is still unfinished in our units. From my experience, something is broken with how LAHD and
General public comment, go ahead.
and LADBS enforces its own regulations. I ask the council to please take a closer look at how these departments seem to look the other way when landlords fail to supply a THP to tenants as long as the work gets done. This comes at the expense of hardworking tenants whose homes and everyday lives are impacted by this lack of accountability. Thank you.
Jay Richardson, general public comment.
Good afternoon. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Thank you for helping the part of the city that needed improvement. It's nicer.
I love her, man. I love her. She waited all that time to say that. I fucking love her, man. That's my girl.
Hi, council members. I'm Javier Moro. I'd like to speak on item 25 and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Go ahead and start with the item, please.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Just a
hi,
little
city council
opinion.
members, liberals and fascists.
Randy. That's why I like her so
It's
much.
a damn shame that all you guys are supporting funding a Zionist militia here instead of
Yes, yuck.
funding these funds, allocating these funds to
Wifing it up.
investigating the people who assaulted me and my friends at the UCLA encampment. It's not okay that these people are getting away with all this stuff, but yet you guys want to fund a literal terrorist organization to come over here and brutalize us. It's not going to help out the Jewish community. It's going to terrorize it even more. I feel like you guys know this, but a lot of you guys just don't give a damn. You guys are capitalist scums that only care about profit. You don't care about the working class of your constituents. It's a damn shame, because we all know this. And the more that you guys do this, the more fired up we're going to be. You guys are going to think that it's going to demoralize us. It's not. It's going to fire us even more to come back here stronger. Yup. And we're not going to give up until Palestine is free. Fuck Kevin DeLeon, fuck Katie Yavoslavsky, and fuck Bob Blumenfield. All you guys deserve to go to The Hague. Free Palestine.
I love this. Breaking news. More than a dozen arrested in Comic-Con human trafficking sting. What the fuck's going on at Comic-Con? Y'all just selling the pussy up in that joint?
I can't. What?
If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
I should be going to Comic-Con, huh?
McQueen, not John.
Wasn't in the know.
And I'm speaking to item 25, but also with reference to a future pandemic. Very briefly.
So we'll give you 1 minute for item 25.
Future
and 1 minute for
pandemics, here we
general
go.
comment. Please start with item 25 first. Thank you.
All right. I'm absolutely against this idea of using city money to bring sociopaths here to brutalize people here. The reason I say that, I was following news on TV, and actually most of the time that's ridiculous. You don't find out anything from commercial TV. But I tuned in to KCET, Amy Goodman's program Democracy Now! I saw footage for more than a month of what was really going on in Palestine. It was unbelievably awful. So there's no way we could support the Israeli defense, whatever they're called. They don't defend anything. They murder people. They're sociopaths. They cannot come here. We cannot pay for them to come here. I'm appalled. Also, the way that students were brutalized across campuses was appalling. I once was a young student.
So general public comment? Go
Okay,
ahead. You can keep going.
I once was young.
So we were out demonstrating against the war in Vietnam. That's all I have to say. So I really appreciate you. I appreciate you young people. Thank you. And the other thing is, what did I want to say? Oh, President Biden once made reference to the coming pandemic, another pandemic, but to not worry that he has the so-called vaccine in hand. It's been I'm losing words. It's under wraps, and we won't have a problem. But his only problem is the people don't cooperate. But he thought he might bring the military from Haiti here to give us a hand. So, maybe they're going to keep these people around if we bring them here. I don't trust this. Okay, that's it.
Speaker, your time has expired.
That's your time.
Holy
ma'am.
shit.
That's your time. You can hand any documents to the sergeant and allow the
Holy
next person to
shit.
come speak.
She buffered big time right there.
Good afternoon.
Don't worry, just
Please
wash your
remind us of
hands.
The name you signed up under and the items you'd like to
And
speak
take
to.
your boosters and you'll be just fine. And wear your mask. You'll flatten that curve right away.
Which items would you like to speak to?
My name is John Crampner. Item 25 and general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for
Horrible.
general. Please begin
Look at
with
this
the item.
next one coming up. Shit.
I'm a constituent of Councilwoman Rahman. I am also a Jew. Like all Jews, I oppose anti-Semitism. I also oppose the cynical weaponization of anti-Semitism as a means of stifling criticism of Israel's genocidal thuggery in the Gaza Strip. Why give Magen Amen groups like it millions? Haven't you shoveled enough money at the LAPD? And what did it do when a violent Zionist mob attacked the UCLA encampment? It stood around twiddling its thumbs for hours. This action does nothing to address anti-Semitism. At Adas Torah, as at UCLA, peaceful protesters suffered violence from a pro-Israeli mob. To portray the victims of violence as instigators,
Thank you, Garrett.
and the instigators as victims is foolish and offensive.
You have general public comment?
Yeah. To give 1 million or 67 million or $1.75 to Magen Am and groups like it is, to use a Yiddish term, meshuga.
Crazy.
Which means crazy, and I strongly oppose it.
Yes, you're a Meshuggah,
Before
my
the
friend.
next speaker,
That
I'm
you
going
are.
to call the last set of names for public comment. Monica Mejia, Rachel Brunk,
Hindler,
Sammy E,
Herman,
Sarah L, and Timothy Arnold.
Bro, come on. You better
Good
not
afternoon.
even
Can you
play.
please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to?
My name is Leone Hankey, and I'm speaking to item 25 and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
I'm a 71-year-old Jewish Angelino. My Jewish grandfather was named Cherkasky. And like one of the other speakers just now, I've seen a lot of wars.
Thank you, Garrett.
And they don't make people safe. Paramilitaries on our street.
Thank you, Michael.
People trained as soldiers do not make anybody here safe.
No, Scarlett.
I think something that actually I wish you to consider would help make us safe is for all of the council people here to demand and push for the ceasefire resolution to be agendized.
I think you mean
and for you to vote
liberal
for it, like
Jews,
almost
Robert.
every
Liberal Jews.
other city in our region.
Big difference.
General
All the ones that are liberal.
80% of Democrats support a ceasefire. We need a permanent ceasefire as a way to also make us safe from Donald Trump. You've got to help with this effort. The atrocities
They're
are
scared.
spiraling, and the war is now growing to Lebanon and Iran. Evidence beyond a reasonable doubt has now been given that Palestinian people are being swept up indiscriminately and sexually tortured. And that is being defended by government officials in Israel. And they are saying that a non-Palestinian cannot be raped. It's always a lesser crime. So please join your voices. Thank you.
You're fired.
Before the next speaker,
Boy, they're
I'm
scared
going
of
to
that
call the
red
last
wave
names.
coming.
Miguel C., Matios Kidane, Marianne Gordon, Navi, Mohammed Atta, Herman, and Donald Harlan.
Come on, so it's got to be fucking Mr. Spindler signing up as Donald Harlan. Has to be. Has to be. Just
My
no
name is
way.
Julia Bear, and I'm speaking to item 25 in general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
Mr. Attorney, I would appreciate it if I could get the attention of all of the city council members. Is there a way to make sure that the
So
city council
your
members
time
are
is
actually
running.
sitting? I understand.
So if you'd like to talk about that during general public comment, you can. But I'm going to ask that you stick to item 25 first. So.
Okay. I would appreciate it. I would appreciate it if the rest of this council would point out to the members that are missing the grievous injustice that it is to be missing during public comment for this kind of an event. I am a public school teacher in Los Angeles. On behalf of the young people I serve, I'm deeply disappointed with the members of this council who decided that they are willing to succumb to the pressure of far-right groups who incite violence within our communities. The precedent being set here is incredibly dangerous. And yes, I'm talking to you, Yaroslavsky. The precedent being set here is dangerous. Freedom of speech should be sacred to us.
General public comment?
And yet here we stand on the edge of violence against people speaking against genocide, people you represent. If we are under threat for speaking the truth, what have you become as leaders? Are you so easily bought by your own greed and ambition? What kind of world are you leading my students into, where you tell them that their right to protest can be threatened by their own government? You may have withdrawn the motion today, but your actions show you are only interested in protecting those with enough money to buy your ear and uphold a norm of supremacy. You continue to support violence against UCLA protesters, and there are still students who have charges against them. Your actions belie your lack of character and the depravity of your pocketbooks. This does nothing to address the real instigators of violence in our communities, and we will not rest while you continue to support the agents of genocide. I really hope you're listening.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to
Yeah, it's
speak
been a
to.
long meeting. It's already 2:20 and we're not even to the phones yet.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and
You're
1
right,
minute for
April.
general. Please begin with the item.
My father and grandmother came over in the 50s from Jaffa, from Palestine, after the British mandated that Nazi Zionists come from Europe and clear us out of our homes. They came here. My father was in the military. They raised their family here in Southern California in peace and quiet finally, after their homes were stolen. Then Addis Torah on Pico Boulevard, you invite them to sell our homes. A criminal act in Los Angeles. And then you send the police to crack our heads open when we complain about it. My father came here for some peace and quiet, and you invite the Nazis here to Los Angeles to attack us. What kind of criminals are you? What kind of maniacs are you? You know what they're discussing in Israel right now? You know what the great debate is in Israel right now? It's not how they're ruining their reputation. It's not how if they should end the genocide. It's whether their soldiers have the right to rape us
General
to
public
death.
comment.
That's what they're talking about in Israel. And that's what you're bringing here. You're all scum, all of you.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Yes, Rachel Brunke, everything.
So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Thank you. I was here a couple of months ago. I'm a member of Code Pink San Pedro, and we were here protesting Fleet Week and the militarization of the LA Harbor, and we were promoting Peace Week. We've been proven right that militarization of our country is at hand right now with the proposed money going for the militarization of our religious institutions. Do we really want the model of Israel here? How's that working for them? I am a Unitarian Universalist. The very symbol of my religion is a chalice with a flame in the middle that was used to help Jewish people and other victims of the Nazis escape Nazism in Germany. Ms. Yaroslavsky, I was with the young people who were at the temple on the 23rd. I was with them on the 22nd. What we were doing is we were protesting the military-industrial complex in El Segundo, Raytheon, Boeing, all of the weapons industry in our country. And they...
Speaker, you've exhausted your 1 minute on item
Thank
25.
you. Yeah. And for 9 months of genocide against their people, nothing happened
Would you like to move to general public comment? Would you like to move to general public comment where you can continue?
We'll move her into general public comment.
Speaker, you need to move to another item if you want to speak to the items, because you've used your 1 minute on item 25.
Another item. So the other item is Ms. Yaroslavsky.
Oh, no,
you
Tara.
and Mayor Bass were recently at an event where you were promoting homeless housing. That was wonderful. But you were heckled, and you were heckled by the NIMBYs in your district and could not talk about helping homeless people. You were heckled by the very same people that probably went to that synagogue and were trying to buy stolen land. And so, you got a taste of your own medicine about what those kind of people are. People in this country, in this city, need to change and they need to evolve.
Miko,
this
thank
is the
you.
very same body, Los Angeles City Council, that shut down the South Central Farm. Your old idea of land needs to completely change. Land is being stolen from the Palestinians. They're being murdered. People, I'd like to have everyone vote. Would you like the $2 million going to these four women
So, Speaker, we've asked
here
you
to
politely to
address
stay on topic.
them.
I'm going to move you to your 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
and no more land grabs in our city. Vote right now to have no more of those real estate sales in this city. We are supporting selfish people, land grabbers in other countries, and here we cannot do it. Free Palestine.
You know what's so funny is every single one of them used to say the word divest at least once, and now they don't say divest. So I'm guaranteeing you someone's writing fresh scripts for them. to go
afternoon.
over.
If you could please
Now
remind us of
this
the
week
name you
it's
signed
land
up on
grab
and
and
the
land
items you'd like to
theft.
speak to.
Land grabber.
Timothy Arnold. I'm speaking on items 25 and for general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and
Here
1
goes
minute for
Mr.
general.
Herman wrapped
Please
in his
begin with the item.
flag.
Hi, I'm Timothy. I've lived in Los Angeles for 6 years. I was going to speak today about how irresponsible spending $2 million of our money on the vague promise of reimbursement from the state would have been to fund armed Zionist militias in our streets. But
words.
Yaroslavsky and Blumenfield somehow mustered up the sensibility and intelligence to know when
Thank
to
you,
give
Kat.
up,
Let's
cave to our
go.
pressure, and throw away their proposals to try and direct funds to the right-wing bigots. and
Happy Hump Day,
Morgan
Kat.
Allen. To the other council members, I would think very hard, if I were you, about your relationships with these councilors after how willfully they tried to circumvent both the Budget and Civil Rights Committee to take our money and use it in a way that would benefit them and their people. Thank you.
Good afternoon. If you could please
Oh my
remind us
God!
of the name you signed up
Oh my
under
God!
and
Mr.
items
Harlan is really there.
Marion Gordon.
He's there.
And,
Kat, he's
item
there.
25 and general comment.
He's in the white
you have 1 minute
jacket.
for the item
He's
and 1
really
minute for
there.
general. Please begin with the
He's
item.
really there. It really is Mr. Harlan.
First of all, I am Jewish, but not a Zionist. I am a member of Democratic Socialists of America. I am here because, first of all, I was raised as a Jew to believe not just in the rights of Jewish people and the freedom for Jewish people, but freedom for everybody.
Swear it's him.
And I'm here, I came for number 25 because as everybody has said, an armed force from Zionist Israel is not going to make our streets safer. The whole thing about religion coming back into the schools all around the country pushed by the Republicans, this strikes the same, it has the same odor of religious groups being hired.
General public comment. Go ahead.
General comment? Oh, God.
You can continue.
Okay, I do want to urge the City Council to bring to agenda the ceasefire issue, and I want to thank our 3 City Council people who did put this on raise this resolution. So thank you, Nisis and Ugo and Nithya, thank you. Okay, I can't talk about the 25 anymore. To build peace in LA and in Gaza, we need to see an end to genocide. And Los Angeles can do its part by passing the ceasefire resolution. We need to fight not just for an end to violence against various religions, but a violence against women and violence against African Americans.
Speaker, your time has expired. Next speaker. Mr. Spindler, please come to the podium. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Before you start his time, hold on. So the 2 people who are standing in the back, one of them with the beard and one of them with a white mask, this is your first and only formal warning. Do not continue to start this meeting or you'll be subject to removal.
Sergeants, the 2 men standing up in the back have been warned several times. We'll excuse them from the meeting pursuant to the rules.
So the 2 people who are standing up initially, yes. The gentleman in the beard who you just pointed to has been warned multiple times and has been told that he's been removed from this meeting subject to Rule 7 and Rule 12. And I believe the woman next to her with the white mask as well. That goes the same for everybody else who's currently standing. Yeah. You have been warned.
We'll ask all the
times.
folks who are standing to be removed.
The 2 gentlemen on the right-hand side of the council chambers wearing the black shirt with the red squares.
Getting crazy.
You've been warned multiple times and are subject to removal if the council president deems it appropriate. Everybody who is continuing to disrupt this meeting, please stop doing so.
All of the people standing are excused from the meeting, Sergeants.
Oh, get them all
They're
up
all
out of here.
asked to leave the chambers immediately.
Bye. Let's go, Billy. Get them all up the fuck out of here.
So in that group, at a minimum, it includes the two gentlemen in the front, one with the pink shirt and the white shirt, wearing the red
Hit the
and
road,
white.
Jack. Don't you come back no more. Free, free, free Alex Stein. Free, free Alex Stein. Free, free, free Alex Stein. Palestini KKK. Bikide bikide bikike. Yeah, they're
And
angry.
to the members of the public who are
it was
still
a mass
watching and
dunking.
listening in, we are still waiting
Those
for it to
turds
quiet
got
down so we
flushed.
can continue with this meeting. Again, as we stated earlier, we understand that people have a lot of, we're very passionate on both sides of this issue, but we need to be able to run an efficient meeting. So we appreciate those of you who are here who have remained quiet while other people are trying to speak. Okay, Mr. Spindler, you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public
Your
comment.
discretion is advised.
Yes, and proudly signing up as Mohammed Atta. Yes. Number 25. Look at the walk back by KFC, the Katie fucking cunt. Look what she's done.
What happened?
She's trying to walk back her $2 million gift to the terrorist nation of Israel. Look at this. So now, look at Eunice looking like she did that? Yes, because she's evil. But the most evil council member has always been Tracy Park from the beginning. That's why her name is there. And also, Lily is also there, Mr. Ethics. Are you going to vote yes for this $2 million bullshit? How about you there, Imelda Padilla? What about the Catholic Church that got their window broken? Do they get part of this money to secure their church? No, because you're too fucking stupid to put it in the motion. I read it. Yes. Now we get to the liens. I hate fucking liens, and I hate people who write liens, and I hate their mothers for giving birth to them. So let's go over these. Number 1. What about queasy and sleazy hot on number 1? Shame on you. The business improvement is nothing but a fake tax. It's just a fucking fraud, all of it. And number 2, Kevin Lyon doing business as Kevin De Leon, the one-term council member. Fuck number 2 as well. And then, of course, the felony suspect on number 3. I wonder why Imelda won't fix the lights on Woodley. And how come she allows a possible convicted felon to legislate? Don't you know the difference between criminals and yourself? What about number 4? Monica Contreras. Yes, a large fine. Almost as big as her behind, but not quite.
So, Mr. Spindler, you know the rules. I'm going to ask you to stick to the items themselves.
Well, I mean, he's talking about the motion, right? the fucking...
Then talk about the motion,
right?
Please.
But the
Go
motion
Not her
is
big
authored
butt.
by
Butt
Monica
naked.
Rodriguez,
Oh
and I'm
my
saying that the
God,
that the
Becky,
amount of the
look
fine
at her
is
butt.
almost as large as she is. Isn't that on topic? Isn't that First Amendment protected speech? Or you didn't go to law school? I thought you went to law school.
So this is your only warning. Stick to the agenda. I'm going to move you to general public comment.
You studied some law. Tell him he's wrong. Number 5. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't interrupt me again. Now, number 5, CD12. Fuck CD12. Number 2, well, we'll fuck the rest of the items. Now we will get to the illustrious general comment period. As you see, Goat Puppet is not here today. He is going to negotiate a ceasefire on 77th and Figueroa. Let's give him a hand.
Oh, Lord. Wow.
That's right. The ceasefire will now hold for the next 24 hours as we try to clear all the prostitutes off of Figueroa and get these women back to their mothers. You know, that's what you're supposed to be doing here in this council, is saving girls from prostitution instead of giving $2 million fucking dollars to a terrorist organization, you fucking idiots. What the fuck's wrong with you? How about you, Bob, wiping your nose so impolitely while eating? Look at you eating like a big pig. Look at, now drinking. Now he's drinking and eating. Look at this fucking pig. Did you pay for that food? Look at these. So that's why we always knew that Katie was a cunt. Vote no on this agenda item and give the $2 million to the goat puppet
Your time has
religious
expired.
fund.
Next speaker.
Yes, thank you.
I hate you. I hate you. I don't even know you, and I hate your guts.
Here we go. Viewer discretion is advised. Viewer discretion advised.
Can we start the time?
Yeah, I
You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
Public comment for the record, like on item 25, for example.
In mid-year, Rights and Equity Department decided to steal more money with these 3 fucking idiots. Bloomfield is one, Lee, and Park. But what did Zevi do about the situation? Oh, she says, I want to support nonprofit religions. Well, you're all going to hell. God hates you. Snyder versus Phelps. You're nothing more but a bunch of fucking simplified homosexual faggots, for the record, on 25.
Mr.
Yeah, and I'm going on the lean. You lean on me, asshole. Pay attention, dickhead. Lean after lean. For example, CD 14. And I know this is not because of Kevin DeLeon, because Kevin DeLeon's always on compliance. He's not like that shithole indictment of Price. Then we go to item 5 for the record. Fuck item number 5. Look at item number 6, safety report. Fuck safety. You heard the report. The people here were screaming and yelling, and you did nothing to report. Dawson, you dumb nigger. Look at number 7. No, fuck number 7. That's about current price. A conflict of interest. Another dumb nigger. Then we go into items on housing. What do you know about housing? Well, I'll tell you one thing about housing. It's not in California, that's for sure. Because several dumb bitches in here, not to mention by name, but, you know, ever since I had my birria, I found out that dumb bitch is doing nothing about Tarzana, nothing about Encino, because of all these burglaries, because the dumb bitch is too busy trying to look pretty. Pretty done shit, nothing right. Get it for the record, done nothing right. And then look at number 29, housing. Look at number 30, housing. Fuck housing. Fuck Mid-Valley Tiny Home Village. You stupid cunt. You're Walgalowski. Yeah. 271-280.25 cents. Come on, Soto. Help that dumb bitch count. And then we go to the conflict of interest with Mr. Price. Item 31 and 32. Fuck item 31 and 32 for the record. And by the way, look at this shit on fucking City of Los Angeles versus Crescent Apartment. Where the fuck is Judge Carter? Put some action to your motherfucking words and get these niggers to do their part and participate to get all the homeless off the goddamn motherfucking streets in which you failed like your mayor, that dumb Olympic bitch in Paris.
General public comment.
Now, as far as I understand, Brandenburg versus Ohio, 395 U.S., 444-1969. Well, that dumb kike up there, Bloomfield, shoves that food in his mouth. How far is the nigger going to? Yeah. This is what we're going to do to the niggers. A dirty nigger. Why are you eating in front of me, Bob Bloomfield? You kike? Save America, nigga. Let's go back to constitutional betterment. You heard all the complaints, you heard all the issues why the protesters were so upset because Kikey Bob and the other kikes in here don't want to stop the killing of the children of Hamas. From sea to sea, who will it be? Is it the Jews who destroy our homeland like America? Vote for Trump, Kamala KK cunt. If that's what you want, another dumb 46, go ahead and stroke it. Suck a dick.
And that's why I say he's crazy. Hey, I told you viewer discretion is advised. Donald Harlan's coming up. Oh, yeah, let's get it. Let's get Donald Harlan in the house. I haven't seen Donald Harlan in a minute.
Which items would you like to speak to?
All right, let's go, Kat.
I'd like to speak on agenda item 1, 2 through 19, 26 through 35.
So you have 3 minutes for the items.
General comment.
And 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Okay, first of all, agenda item 36, that's a really bad idea. It's about the Build LA program that they're trying to expedite permits for Build LA. Build LA is not a government program. What they're doing is illegal, unlawfully developing real estate. None of those people in there own that. I don't know who in the fuck Build LA is, but I have a feeling they're all going to prison over that. I noticed that's not any good. I was going to address agenda items 2 through 19 as a group. It's about declaring nuisance properties. I think that's ridiculous that you're trying to blame the property for the nuisance or for the cleanup or for whatever that is. You're not supposed to blame the property. You're supposed to blame the person that created the nuisance. It's not, hey, let's free Palestine. Let's blame the land. You're supposed to blame the people that did that. That's for 2 through 19, definitely no.
He is sedated.
You need to figure out anybody in the government who endorsed the development of that property, the person who said they own that, the people who were there, the people that created the nuisance. Those are the ones that pay for it, not the property. And there's no lien on the property for that. Somebody should, if you really want to do something, send somebody to jail for creating a nuisance. Agenda item 26 through 35, REAP properties. The city and the attorney and the law enforcement and the Department of Justice needs to investigate the illegal use of REAP to sell real estate by the city council members. The number of properties under REAP is very limited.
No, I'm looking at the other screen, baby.
Reasons that a property could go under
protests
REAP are
in
very
London.
limited.
They're arresting
And
people.
it seems like you're just killing people trying to sell their property. Because that is actually what's going on. Agenda item number 1, streets and highways don't pay for BID. I want to make something real clear. The people in the city really need to know. The people working in the city council really need to know. The United States government doesn't own any transportation infrastructure. The city doesn't own any transportation infrastructure, and the state of California doesn't own any transportation infrastructure. They don't own any roads, highways, ports, bridges, stairways, walkways. They don't own any of that. Mostly I do, and you're not to be spending the money from the states and highways or blaming them for that.
General public comment.
Real Donald Harlan coming out.
Yeah, I see that you guys have been out for a month, and that you got a lot of bullshit here as usual. Something about they're attacking Jewish people holding real estate conventions in Beverly Hills or something. Yeah. None of those people own any of it, and I wouldn't allow you people to spend money out of the what is that? Civil rights and human. Yeah, there's no humans in this city council at all. None of you people in there are human. Not a single one of you. And for you guys to try to spend money out of there, it just doesn't seem right. Also, escheatments of unclaimed monies. No, it's not going into the city budget. They didn't own that money in the first place. It was stolen in the first place.
Speaker, your time has expired.
Fucking love him. Even a sedated Donald
All right, that
Harlan
concludes
is gold.
in-person speakers. We will go to
Now,
phones.
granted, if he
from
wasn't
now until
sedated,
1 o'clock.
he would definitely be screaming into the mic and telling you he wants to kill people. Yeah,
Speaker,
he
with
threatened
the
some
last
people
four
last
digits,
time.
7255. What items would you like to speak on?
All items and general public comment.
So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Richard Serrano?
Go ahead.
Well, let's start with me.
It's Richard Serrano. His phone's fucked up.
Yes, it's your time.
When you guys look, this is above Beverly Hills. You have 7 different districts or construction works going on up there. It's about who's feeding you money.
Developers.
There is a runaway ramp for the material being hauled out. Since I worked in Beverly Hills, I know this. And again, south of Sunset, prominent area. All these people can't put that infinity pool that they want to do that they're protesting against. But since you don't care because you don't know, these people want something they're going to resell. Many mansions. Let them do what they're doing, because that first mansion wasn't built without removal of trees from that hillside community. It's a beautiful area. So, but again, you guys already voted. I don't even know why we waste our time talking to you. No one pays attention. You've never worked for your life. Bloomingfield, come on, man, really? John 2:16. Why are you making the marketplace? And that we're going to 25 on this one. You're Jewish. Why are you making the marketplace of us, our Father's house? These people do not want that in there, and you're supposed to represent them. Make it clear what you guys do affects the community, not your interests. You got voted in to represent their interests. The Gaza Strip, when Benjamin came in, Prime Minister of Israel, and said, we are not done until we acquire that strip, you should have backpedaled and got away from him. That means he is doing genocide until he acquires that property. Yet you're backing him up. It's upsetting. Monica Rodriguez, Imelda Padilla, you guys sitting on the side, not even listening to the people? Listen to the people that it's being attacked. See, you're on the same point. I don't know why you're
General
talking over
public
there in the
comment?
corner. You should listen in because this is part of your thing. Genocide should not be anywhere in this world. Unless your families are on the line, don't tell me send my kids to war. God bless you all. You guys are lost with this. Kevin DeLeon, just let it go, man. You were lost a long time ago. Monica Padilla, Mila Padilla. Monica Rodriguez is Mila Padilla. Same one and the other. Mini-me. 9080 Woodman Avenue. We have a homeless encampment in that Starbucks store that was supposed to be getting. What are you doing for them? Let's go to public comment, City Attorney, before you cut me off. 9080. And 9120, you're about to have a groundbreaking thing. Are you going to clean 9080 right before that so the
Speaker, your
newspapers
time
don't
has
get it?
expired. Next call.
Monica Rodriguez.
Dang, they didn't give him no minute for public comment, that's for sure. Dude's wearing a Raiders hat in London,
Caller
getting
user
arrested.
2, what
Even
item
the
would
Raiders
you like to
fans
speak to?
in the UK are crazy.
Caller user number 2, this is your last opportunity to speak. Please press star 6 to unmute, or we'll have to move on to the next caller.
You think I'm stoned?
Next caller?
Staring off in space. I'm just watching what's going on the other screen.
Smoke.
Caller with the last 4 digits, 8061. You may speak now.
Some rough parts of London.
So we can hear you.
That's for
Go
sure.
ahead. Which items would you like to speak to?
Yes. I'll be speaking on item 25 and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
I'm an anti-Zionist Jew with Jewish Voice for Peace living in CD2. I'm aware that this motion has been withdrawn, and for that I am grateful, but I want to express how damaging a motion like this could have been and demand that you refuse any funds provided by Newsom's new bill. Council members Yaroslavsky and Blumenfield pretended to speak for all Jews when they put this motion forward, but the truth is thousands of Jews in this city who have been actively fighting for Palestinian liberation would have only been threatened and endangered. As anti-Zionist Jews who have spoken out against Israel's genocide of the Palestinian people, we have experienced discrimination, intimidation, and violence. You all should know by now that this is not a protest of the synagogue, but of the illegal land sale that was being held there. Land theft is not a Jewish value. Genocide is not a Jewish value. Shame on you for continuing to perpetuate the narrative that the protest was an attack on Jews. They were protesting illegal land sales, and the violence demonstrated that day came from the Zionists and the police. Many people today have come forward demanding funding for housing that was promised to them, and it is a spit in the face to them to consider funding the Zionist
their phone.
We should be funding things like housing, education, and healthcare. I yield my time.
All right, that concludes
What?
public comment on the telephones.
There's no way. There's no way.
Clerk, what's
They
before
hung
the
up on
council
all
at
the
this
rest.
time?
Daniel, Jason,
Mr.
Brock.
President, there's a
You know they
request to
did.
Call items 10 and 16 special. You
know they did.
As well as 14
There's
and
no way.
19 special for amendment. And amending motions 14A and 19A have been circulated.
All right. Do those need to be read into the record, or can we proceed?
All right, if
would
nothing
be
else goes
next
to like a
year.
special item, we're going to get out of here because I don't want to listen to them talk to themselves. I'd rather show you what's going on in London a little bit versus these idiots talking to themselves. But they may have one item they'll bring back. So
on
everybody.
item number 14, the amending motion reads that I move that item number 14 on today's council agenda be amended to instruct the Department of Building and Safety to take necessary actions to waive the accumulated interest, late fees, and late charges associated with this case, and this is being introduced by Council Member Rodriguez and seconded by Council President Marquise Harris Dawson. Motion item on item number 19, there's a similar motion that says that I move that item number 19 on today's council agenda be amended to instruct the Department of Building and Safety to take the necessary actions to waive the accumulated interest, late fees, and late charges associated with this case, again being introduced by Council.
A lot of the Venezuelan feeds are just loops.
Council President
Like
Marquise Harris Dawson.
legit video that was shot. It's just
On
looped
item
up.
number 10,
playing on loops.
there is a motion from Councilmember McCosker that reads that I move that item number 10 on today's council agenda be amended to instruct the Department of Building and
You
Safety
couldn't unmute?
to take the necessary
Damn.
actions
It's all right,
to waive
Jason.
all liens and penalties
Thanks for calling
on
in.
each property, and that the local business pay the original fee of $356
Michael, that is hold on.
for inspections. Is there a second to this motion?
It is the Times and the Sunday Times.
Again from Councilmember McCosker. On item number 16, the motion reads that I
You know,
move
the
that item number
newspaper, I'm
16
guessing?
on today's council agenda be amended to instruct the Department of Building and Safety to take the necessary actions to waive all liens and penalties on each property, and that the local business pay the original fee of $356.16 for inspections. And again, is there a second?
Yeah, they
on this
kind of did the
motion?
trap in.
Second.
Told everybody to leave. They didn't want to leave. So they kind of just
All right.
trapped them in, and now they're one, few by
What's
few.
available for us to vote on?
snatching them up.
Sorry,
kinda thing.
Councilmember Rahman.
Thank you so much. I also have a motion on item 20 that the city attorney has available to read.
Sir?
The motion reads
All right,
that
let's just
I
go to
move
this, 'cause
that
I think
item
they're
number
done.
20 on today's council agenda be amended to adopt the following recommendation. Deny the appeal and thereby sustain the June 25th, 2024 action of the Board of
Let
Building
me
and
find it on
Safety
the other
Commissioners
channel so we can hear the
attached
audio.
to the council file. 2, 1, approve a haul route application to export 3,796 cubic yards of earth, subject to the conditions of approval. And 2, the environmental findings, the categorical exemption from CEQA as the environmental clearance for the property located at 9283 W Swallow Drive.
W Swallow Drive?
All right, Mr. Clerk.
Wouldn't that be west?
Mr. President,
West?
Council may now vote on items 2 through 9, 11, 12, 13, 15, and 17 for the liens, which is motion Bloomfield Harris Dawson.
No, I know there's
to
no
adopt
sound
the
right now. I'm finding it
recommendations of
on the
Los
other
Angeles
screen.
Department of Building and Safety. And for the record, those items are
Right, I got
items
it.
3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, 12, 17 to confirm the liens.
Okay. Man, that shit is hot. Like, I barely have it on and I can hear it great. All right, here we go. And now. Oh, no. You should hear it now.
Can you please speak to Officer Gemma? Look, Officer Gemma Willis there. Please, Gemma. Gemma.
He's got like a British Edgar. It's like a Caesar. Look like Sid Caesar. The British version of the Edgar. I stand behind what the protesters are doing here, man. They can't allow it. They need to uprise, stop what's going on. The problem is, you know, the police have an army against them unless they have big numbers, and then you end up tearing up your own town to prove a point. Does the point even get proved? And you know, that's the problem. So here's the little arrest teams while the others kind of hold the line. You'll see these units come in and snatch up 3, 4, 5 of them at a time. And slowly just get rid of them. This is in support of what happened in Southport, which was three little girls, like between the ages of 8 and 10, I believe, were at a dance studio and stabbed to death by a migrant. And the town went pretty crazy yesterday there, and I guess they're kind of showing solidarity. It's, you know, spreading across all, you know, the UK and in England. So England's angry. Same thing in Venezuela. Venezuela's going crazy, right, over the whole election. So yeah, I don't blame them either, there. I mean, enough's enough. It's almost like you stand up for what you believe, and if you gotta live, maybe it's not worth living in a world that you have to live on your knees. So, yeah. Ages 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Very young, I know. Either way, just disgusting. Well, they're getting the old chap. They're gonna get the birds too. You tell me what I've done. Fucking hell. You taking a piss? Fucking love it. I love for what he's standing for, man. Patriot right there. He'll be out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Standing up for what's right. He's got bullocks, mate. He's no twat. All right, Mello. Have a great one. Christina, this is basically a protest in London. And they kind of boxed everybody in. I think this is outside of Buckingham Palace, if I'm not mistaken, or right around the area. Because that place is huge, so yeah. They've boxed everybody in. They do the same thing here. They give you a chance to leave. You don't leave. Then they just start boxing in the crowd. And then they, one by one, take people away. Bring out the Schlammer van and, you know. I don't know if they prosecute them. It's not like here where they just take them into a parking lot with a whole bunch of other ones. And I don't know. Tell them not to do it again and let them go.
I haven't even done anything.
Getting a little rough. Where's fucking Pete when we need him? Pete, where's you at? Where you at, Pete? Yeah, that's kind of how it is. Yeah, I don't even think they get a court date or anything. They may get some bullshit fine that's, you know, nothing, or, you know, just gets wiped away. And yeah, so I don't know. I don't know how they, what they do.
Police state, police state, police state, police state.
Come on, mate. Just reminds me of when we were at our hotel and there was some asshole who was super drunk. I mean, he was going up to all of us, like pissed drunk. You barely walk kind of thing. Making all kinds of noise, so the hotel called the police on him. Police come right to the front. They bring the paddy wagon. And I'm telling you, man, he starts fighting them or whatever. They cuff him. They walk his ass in there, and he's pushing and shoving before they get him into the van. And they pushed him so hard into the van, you could hear him slam his head on the top of the thing. Bang! Slam the door shut, and he's so pissed he starts rocking the van. He's so angry, and they're like, "Mate, you're in a cage." Trying to calm him down. Like, you're not gonna go anywhere. You're not gonna do anything. Just calm your stupid ass down. He was drunk as fuck. Walked up to me and my friend, said it. I'm a cunt, ain't I? Yes. Dude was pissed drunk, dude. You know, those Brits, they like to drink at the pubs, man. They be some drinkers. They ain't afraid to throw a few back. You know what tripped me out over there is people can roll up to the outside, like where the door is of the bar, with like a fucking, 18-pack of beer and just start drinking it right on the street in front of the bar. Just hang out. Fools are walking out there with tall cans and like, wait, what? I was like, man, you can't do that shit where I'm from. You go ahead and go in front of any bar and start drinking your own beer and see what happens. That security's gonna push your ass fucking 50 feet the other way because they're gonna lose their liquor license. That ain't happening here. They're pretty serious with that. They're gonna call the cops just to make it an annoyance for you. You get a ticket for drinking in public. So it's weird. What's up, Donovan? Just watching the life and times of London as the sun sets on another beautiful day in the UK. And one by one, as like I told you, they slowly walk them out. And I'm guessing either ticket them or do something. Process them like they do in mass process centers. You know, they set up in a parking lot, have one person doing one thing or a few doing each thing, and they get through them really quickly. And, you know, notice to appear in court kind of shit, and then they get a little fine. I think that's usually how it would work. And it was getting a little wild earlier. Some people were quite angry. They were making them, you know, pull them out, you know, by hands and feet. They weren't walking. Chemical castration. Well, I don't know if they're going that far with it. I like how they're videoing everything now. So they have their own video proof. Yeah, and he just smashed me over the head with his baton first. Well, let's check out the replay, Billy. That's you right crossing him first. So, better come correct. Great. They are protesting. No, they're protesting. Well, what they're doing is there was a stabbing. 3 young girls were killed at a dance studio in another city in England called Southport. So there was quite an uprising there because it was by a migrant. Killed these 3 young little girls, and people are angry about all the migrant crime that's happening, and they're not doing anything about it. So now it's spreading to London, which we're now looking at here. And, you know, of course, bigger cities that are in metropolitan areas throughout England. You know, people are tired of the migrant crime. You know, it's becoming violent. So that's really what they're standing up for. You know, and I'm sure they're angry at the police. And, you know, some of the police may even feel like they do, but, you know, they don't want to lose their jobs. So you got to do your job and arrest the person. So, and that's what the whole conundrum was yesterday in fucking Venezuela. You had the Venezuelan army. Some of them were taking off their fucking uniforms and then going out with the protesters. So it's a big deal, you know, and it starts to split hairs. You don't know which way to go. And I like that, dude. I'm telling you now, if I ever go out, I need one of those. Like, he's smart. Just be chilling in a lazy boy all day. That's what I'm saying, man. He's a smart dude. Have like cup holders and shit and a piss bag. You can have a catheter. To be sitting there pissing. Yeah, go ahead. Meanwhile, you're pissing while you're listening.
Same as down here.
That's it. Media on wheels. That's what I call myself, too. Just call it on the roll. Live on the roll. Get a sound system. Bump that joint. Little PA system with a whole speaker and a horn and all this shit, but a train horn on that bitch. Where when I'm trying to come through and people don't see me, man, is that'll wake them up, Billy. The train horn. Little fire, you know, what is that? Flamethrowers on the fucking side. Just flame them up with the flamethrower. I can see it. You're getting too close, bro. Don't get within 10 feet. Get the flamethrower.
The fire rises.
I'm gonna be sitting there just burning. I got too close. In London, mate. We's in London. West London, mate. Oh, Viper car alarm? Step back from the car. Step back from the vehicle. You are too close. I remember those two. Step back from the vehicle. You are too close. What you really need, though, is like an Ed 209 to watch your car the whole time.
Please put down your weapon. You have 20 seconds to comply.
Like it gets too close to your car, and then it pops from the top. Just literally fucking smokes somebody who fucks with your ride. Oh, you want to come key it, huh?
You now have 15 seconds to comply.
I gave you 30. We're at 15, bro, before I smoke you. Be fucking fantastic. Everybody would want one. Oh, you got the new model with the Ed 209? Oh, yeah, man, I got one of those too. Shit, yeah. Dealership charged me $6,000. I could have got it for $3,000. Shout out to all you fucking dealerships out there. Hopefully all the dealerships are gone. All of them. Every last one. All the car salesmen and people, the finance assholes, all of them that just, butt fuck Americans every day. Smile in their face, give them a free coffee, and then laugh at them as they pull off. Hopefully all of them are out of jobs, and then they start to lose their shit. And then we can laugh at them the way they laughed at us when they're in the unemployment line. And I'll deal with no dealer markups, no dealer adjustments, no $900 window tint, no $400 wheel locks, no extra coatings. But we already put the coating on, sir. We can't take the coating off. So maybe now the dealerships, the manufacturers will learn that it's better to go direct to the public. Okay? Cut the middleman out. The dealership's the stealership in the middle, just stealing. Charging way too much. I'm all for capitalism, but not when it's compromising people's futures. And then you just laugh about it. It's one thing to make a little money. If let's just say you made $1,000 on every car and you make $2,000 now. It's a whole nother when you're making $20K more than you should have on a car. People are fucking taking out loans, and I get it. People, if you're dumb, you're dumb. People taking out 8-year loans on cars, putting $2,000 down, have $2,000 payments to drive a fucking Camaro. It's crazy. More of them coming in. Good old Crazy Gideons. I remember him. Sell the TVs and all that. What was it? We stack them deep and sell them cheap. I think that was his little motto, right? We stack them deep and we sell them cheap.
Look. Wow.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, Ojo. It's just that kind of shit. We could all give you a story. And even if your experience of actually buying the car was okay, then you go back because you want to have a certified technician who deals with those cars service that vehicle, and then they're charging you $2,000 to do the brakes or whatever. It's ridiculous, they're just butt fucking you in every way. It's a sad deal. And it happens all the time. That's why I have no sympathy for them. They've been living, high on the hog for a long time. Especially through the shamdemic. They were pumping all that money into the economy and they were winning. They were selling cars at a fast rate. So that's all I say. Good to see, Andy. Yeah, it's good to see Chrysler Motor Credit doesn't own it. But that's the problem too, though. It's because of the glut of cars being made and they were pumping them out, it's made, you know, and now nobody can afford them. It's ruined the value of all cars across the board, really. Cars are not, I mean, unless we're talking about a classic vehicle or something that's really a rare collectible, I'm not talking about those vehicles. You know, I'm just talking about the general, you know, across the board car. You know, there's a glut of cars. Mass repossessions now, and it's lowered the value of everything in that sense. Come on, mate. See, they're polite. The bobbies are polite. No, there aren't, Gail. I think they'd be afraid to show up. Something bad could happen. I mean, really the same thing happens here. This is no different than here. Same tactics that we use. Definitely say it's a lot more civil. I mean, you notice how you don't hear the crowd chanting or anything like that. They're not doing anything aggressive. Here it'd be a different story. Especially if it was the mostly peaceful side. Everything would be spray painted, windows would be broken. You know, trash cans, all the garbage they could find would be piled up. Make themselves a little fortress. You know, full LARPing at its finest. Fucking bus wankers. Fucking bus wanker. I'm gonna take him out back. They're gonna go find some clunge. I want some clunge. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Ojo. They're just thieves, you know, and especially, you know, they see the young people, they prey upon them. They know the credit isn't so good. The elderly folks that may not do a whole lot or whatever. You know, the ones who not paying attention, those folks. You know, they definitely prey upon those folks to not know and to not question. And yeah, it's a big problem. And again, those people are supported by the legislators. They put money in the legislators' pockets. That's why they never really end up getting in trouble. Too much money in the auto industry to fuck with them. And like I said, I don't think you can find an American born here in America that hasn't had at least one negative interaction with a buying experience or service experience at any dealership. I don't care. Toyota, Lexus, Ford, Chevy, Pontiac, Tesla, you name it. Mercedes, BMW, Audi. Somebody's had a negative experience. Always. And probably, I'd bet you'd have more than one. Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, absolutely. Yeah, they were talking about Stellantis a bit. They're saying now is going to sell Chrysler any day now. Stellantis. They're going to sell Chrysler. They're going to sell Maserati. One other, they said. All the ones that weren't making any real money for them. You know, Jeep brand, Ram, is at least making money for the most part. Dodge, of course, too. Thank you, Legacy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it.
Smoke.
No, absolutely, Shaky. I mean, that's why I was saying you can't blame it on the manufacturer across the board. It's that way. It's the privately owned dealerships. You know? You know, and realistically, you can go to their Yelp pages and see all kinds of low ratings on them. People express their opinions. Yeah, it sounds about right there, Tons. Fucking morons. I don't know how it's admitting anything, but okay. Now, the manufacturing of the battery and all that, yes. You know, that's what, you know, these people that drive electric cars, lots of think they're, you know, saving the world, but they don't realize what it takes to make the battery and other things in that electrical car. So, double-edged sword there. You know, lithium. Go look at a lithium mine. See who's digging out all the lithium. See if they're nicely masked up and clean and in a sterile environment. Go ahead, take a look. Would I ever drive a Tesla? I'd have to get it for free. I wouldn't pay $1 for a Tesla. I wouldn't pay $1 for any electrical car. Because I'm burdened, you know, not that I go really long distances. You know, I think there's two things with electrical car. If you want one, you have to lease it, not buy it. Because it drops dramatically within the first 3 years of ownership. It's insane. You're going to lose 40% of whatever you paid for it. 40% in just the first 3 years. That's just first off. Second off, I think it's more of a secondary car. You have one car, you can go anywhere with, gasoline powered, do your thing. Just find your gas. Then you have the electrical car for what most people do, which is less than 200 miles round trip a day. You plug it in at home and you plug it in at work and you know what I mean? You're getting around without, you know, killing the environment, I guess, in that sense. But I just don't think it's all there yet. You know, the charge is very slow. They're never giving you what they say they're going to give you as far as range. You know, they're a ticking time bomb in the sense that as soon as the battery's done, the whole car is basically done. It's like a throwaway car almost because the batteries are so expensive. You know, like who's paying $12,000 to put a Prius battery in their Prius? Like you're at that, and it already feels and runs like shit. You're just gonna get rid of it, crush it, and get a new one. So it's like a disposable car in that sense. Not to say that all cars aren't that way, because they kind of are, but they're definitely a car that you well maintain with a combustion engine. You could have for a long, long time. And then when that motor goes out in 30 years, it isn't 20 grand to fix the motor. Are rice burners still out there? You mean JDM cars? Yeah, there's still JDM cars everywhere. Thank you, Cruising with Cubby. Electric cars, motorcycles suck. I'll stick to gas. I agree, Cubby. You know, in fact, that if you ask me what is in a good position and is the leader in my opinion is hybrids. You get the best of both worlds. You don't have to worry about solely, relying on the electric side of it, right? So I can drive as long as I want on my gas, and then shit, I'm almost out of gas. Boom, let's go electric so I can go 30 more miles and then get home and stop at a gas station near my house versus stopping on the middle of the highway where I don't know where the fuck I'm at, kind of thing. So that's the way I look at it. And trust me, the car manufacturers and dealerships or stealerships, they know this because they charge you way more, and the waiting lists on any hybrids across the board are always longer. People would rather have both, and it's a smarter move. And that's what I'm saying. That portion, that hybrid portion, is doing well, and I think it's only going to get better there. And in my opinion, you don't go electric, you go hybrid. Your cousin's hybrid Accord is smooth. That's what I'm saying, Wolf, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting at. He gets the best of both worlds. Now you really can extend the range of your car. A full tank of gas that gets you 300 miles plus 200 or 150 miles or whatever, 200 miles on your battery, 500 miles without stopping. That's a long period. Thank you, Cubby. See, that's what I'm saying, Dixie. That's, and if the rest of the car is still good, still good. The electrical cars are just too expensive, and they waste a lot of tires because they're super heavy. You know what I mean? You're going to go through tires more than you'd think, not to mention the instant torque. It's heavy and it's torquey. Those tires are going to go. Don't trip. And now they're starting to tax you to, drive those cars before they weren't. Before they even had a free ride in the carpool lane. See, twin turbo, 2.7 liter. Decent sized motor. 27 miles per gallon. Gets going, right, Brett? I don't know if they're 20K for the tires, and the battery is. I think those tires are special tires that are different. Carry a heavier load, probably a stiffer sidewall. And I would assume they're a little more expensive, $2,500, $3,000 for tires, instead of $2,000 for some really high-end kind of tires. You can say it's about $500 a tire for really high-end tires that you need. Goodyear, Toyo, the good shit. Get some Nitos. They're all right. CW, this is just a protest that was kicking off in London, so it's live in London right now. And they're pissed about migrant crime and spreading across England. Well, as slow as it may be, it can be torquey off the line. You know what I mean? It might just hit a plateau. It may plateau quickly. Sorry. They've got all the punters. The punters have showed up. I don't hate you, Elon. Just want you to fix your cars and stop recalling them. You'd lease a Tesla? That's a smart move. Like I said, don't buy it. Please don't. Lease it. You're better off. I'm telling you, just go see. You can do it for yourself. Look at what the car cost in this year. Go back just 2 years and see what that car is now. Or go into CarMax and put in that car with that kind of mileage and see what they offer you. Granted, of course, they're going to be a little low, but I'm telling you, it's going to be dramatic. 40%. You paid 100, you're gonna be right around 60 grand in just 2 years. No dents, no dings. 22,000 miles on the clock. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, Prius isn't made to be a hot rod. You know, so it serves its purpose. I think the Tesla is more of a car that you want a little quicker. But even the Teslas, I mean, unless you have the PD100 or the Plaid, you can see the difference in the Plaid. You know it's a Plaid. You can see the wideness of it. They don't even look similar. You don't see, I mean, I see a Plaid every once in a while out here. You know, I've seen 4 or 5. But I mean, I've seen 30 or 40 Teslas to that one Plaid, if not more. Model S Plaid, yes, 87K, but it went up to 110K. Yeah, I mean, you know, they want to also keep the prestige of the high-end model, and that's kind of how you do it. You devalue it by lowering the prices of it. You know, and like Dodge went the other way with it. You know, that like the Hellcat, it started to as a bang for the buck kind of car. You know, you could have 707 horses for under 70 grand. You know? Not anymore. Now it's 797 maybe. And now that car they're asking 92,000 for the same car. So you can't justify the huge jump, other than it. Most of it is dealer markup too, though. You look at you look at the window sticker, and you'll see a $20,000 window adjustment. Oh, it's a rare Hellcat. It's not rare. I mean, maybe the red eyes are a bit more rare. That is true. There's not a whole lot of red eyes out there. They're definitely more rare than your jailbreaks or your regular, you know, narrow body Hellcats. Certainly the Demons are more rare, especially the original 2018. I get it. But it's not that rare. If I wanted to go online, I guarantee you there's 5 or 10 I could find. You know, it's not that rare in the gist of things. MSRP versus market value. Yes, well, I mean, that's, yeah. I mean, what can you say? You know, what dictates the market value? It's what people are willing to pay for it, I guess, right? And a lot of times, like I said, you had all that money being pumped in the economy. People were just horny over these cars, and they spent all the money on these cars, and they realize now that they paid 30% too much, and now they're upside down on the loan, and they're paying $1,700 a month to drive a car that should cost $750 or $800 a month. So I don't know, man. Goes to show you, on top of that, with the dollar devaluing, how upside down you can be quickly. Yeah, it's just a detuned Demon motor, for sure. But granted, there's just not, when you look at the actual number of Challengers or Charger red eyes produced, and then you go as far as, like, you know, wide body or narrow body, I mean, you're going to see that the numbers for the red eye are way lower than the actual Hellcats, and that's what's kind of keeping those hovering still around 100,000. You want a red eye? It's a wide body. It's $100,000. You know, maybe even a little more, 110. It's about where they hover at. Oh, they done? All right, maybe it's time for me to go, anyways. All right. Yeah, I guess they're done. Yep, they done, son. They cut it. Yuck it. Alright, shout out to the Times and the Sunday Times. Alright, guys, I guess I'm going to get out of here for now anyways. We're all done. We had our pretty good LA City Council meeting. It was great to see Donald Harlan back. Sucks that Brock and Jason couldn't get in. But it was definitely interesting. We have come back with a bang, which is nice to see, at least on that end. But guys, I'll be live Friday, of course, for both shows. The morning show for the City Council, of course, the later night Friday Night Fun. So please enjoy. Keep those notifications on, of course, in case we get us a chase. So that way, in between that time, you'll make sure that you get the alert and you come hang out with us. Thank you for the likes, the love, the thumbs ups. They work and they're free. Thank you for the donations. I appreciate that too. I want you guys to have a fantastic hump day. Be safe out there, and we'll see you on Friday. So on behalf of Stink Bomb and myself, we're out of here.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah, you guys. I'm going home.
Bye, y'all.